Hi, everybody. Hello, welcome in. You are early. I'm going to double check and see if this works. It does. Hello, Meal. Aster Gray is here. Lumpy Shinobi. Hey now, you're an all-star. I know, did you see me testing? I was trying to test and see if this would work. I don't want to sit on the just chatting screen too long for our YouTube Q&A sessions. Also, hello everyone, welcome in. First YouTube Q&A of 2022. Proud of myself for actually doing it. I don't know. We haven't had a Q&A session since last December, so I thought that we could check in, see how it's going. Hi Rose Dagger, Christina Nickel, welcome in. Vincent, how's everybody doing? It's good to see you. I hope that you've had a it is Rose. Hello, Rose. Lao Moonchild, welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you everyone for joining. I hope that you are doing well. My captions are not running. Let me fix that really quick. I knew I was going to have to adjust a few things. So let me really quick just get my screens organized. I've got 3 monitors and I'm like, man, 4 would be nice right now. Maybe even 5. So my goodness. Okay. We're going to be chilling. We're going to have a nice Q&A session. I figured if we don't have anything in specific to talk about, oh my gosh, Slade is here. Hi Slade. How are you? If we don't have anything in specific to talk about, or if y'all don't have questions, I know it's been a couple of months since we've done one. So, oh dang, I didn't even pull my hair out of my necklace. Wow. I was stressing. I figured we could talk about boundaries because that's something that's been like heavy on my mind lately specifically. So I thought that could be a good spot. You're about to play Stardew. Well, I'm sure that would have been a lot of fun too. You could always play Stardew and watch the stream. That's my favorite. I haven't even gotten them running yet. Okay, hold up. New window. There we go. There they are. All right. You're just vibing. Yeah, boundaries, which I'm not great at, but I thought we could talk about and just kind of maybe go through together. I could talk about some of maybe lessons that I've been learning, the struggles that I've been having with that and how that's kind of affecting, if nothing else. I'm obviously happy to make, hi Panthera, I'm happy to take questions, and Panthera is here. So she'll be able to grab your questions up in chat. I'm going to try to keep tonight's stream to 2 hours. That would be great if you could, Panthera. Yes. I'm going to try to keep us to 2 hours. So we're live at 7 p.m. Look at me, even 5 minutes early. I know I said 6. I'm sorry. I stopped to eat. I went live on Twitch, did my makeup. We watched the Nintendo Direct, and then and I was like, let me eat some food. I'm trying to practice better self-care in general. And for me, I tend to run around like a chicken with my head cut off, to use that turn of phrase. I'm constantly go. So like, to me, I was like, I'm supposed to be live at 6. I got to get off here, immediately go live. And I was like, you know what? Let me just chill. Yes, I need to stick to what I say and do what I say, but I can chill a little bit. I don't have to like stress this hard. So hi Gothfish. So if y'all have any questions, I'm gonna start here because this actually is probably a good place with boundaries. So I think this is probably pretty good. We can come at this from both sides and sort of talk about being the person that needs to vent and being the streamer. Oh my God, being the streamer that is receiving the vent, right? And how that streamer was probably. It says me, one of the mods, and the streamer. Yeah, the streamer was probably enforcing a boundary, right? So there's that. I think this is probably a good place to start. I'm gonna actually take time to breathe. That's another thing that I need to work on this year, is not feeling. Yeah, before we get into it, we'll keep this on screen for now. We're gonna come back to Vincent's question. Get that self-care on. I'm trying to practice better self-care. I'm trying to take better care of myself and listen to what I need, do what I need, and yeah, hustle the hustle or whatever, but also not run myself ragged trying to make things work or like be successful or whatever. So I want to also, I suppose, like encourage y'all to take better care of yourself too if you're a content creator. Hi SG, Devious Cookie, hello, Candy Matic, hi, welcome in. Yeah, if y'all have any questions, hi Pedro, how's it going? If you have any questions, please pop them. Did I say hi to Gothfish? I want to. To our early birds, Anime Chan, hello. Pausing to think before I speak. Wow, what a concept. If you have questions about content creation and maybe specifically around boundaries and boundary setting, or even if you have scenarios where you felt like your boundaries were being crossed, but you didn't know how to enforce them, and maybe we could go over the scenarios, keep in mind that I will be putting your questions up on screen. So don't share too much personal information, or if you're going to tell me about someone in your chat who did this one thing, maybe don't use their user, you know what I mean? Like it's going to be public on my Q&A. So be mindful with your questions. That could be good though, if y'all have questions specifically about boundary setting, because that's been very, very heavy on my mind. I'm struggling with that deeply. I always have, not just through streaming, but in my life in general. So yeah, I'm a person first before trying to be a streamer. It is difficult. Yeah. Thank you for being transparent with these things. It's hard for me to remember I'm a person before I'm a streamer. I do have it centered weird. Okay. Let's move it down a little bit too. I think that's kind of why I still overshare, quote unquote, overshare, is because I want to open the conversation with stuff that I don't see talked about, and I know that I struggle with, and a lot of my streamer friends struggle with. So it's probably more than just me and my handful of friends too. So, all right, Panthera, if you want to gather up any of the questions you see, I think that I'm going to start again. I'm going to rewind, talking about self-care, relaxing a little bit. Yes, I think that it's important, and I've done videos on scheduling and stuff. So I've talked about like my scientific approach to how, like, where the formula I've approached to try to come up with the perfect schedule for a streamer, and analyzing all that data and being like, this streamer, if I average all these numbers together, then it was 4 days a week for this many hours. And like, I've done all of that. That's like very like bleep blurp. I'm a computer, crunch the numbers. It's a very mechanical way to approach it. I think that we can take that, and I wish I had expressed this in that video. We can take that analytical crunch structure, and then we can apply our intuition to it. So we see the structure. We understand that 3 to 4 times a week, 3 to 5 hours per stream, usually around 5 hours. The closer you can get to 5 hours, the better. We understand logically that is what we need to do. Does that work for your body, mind, and soul? I might have to like take these lashes off. It's actually driving me crazy. I'm sorry. Did you see it? All right. Well, is it my glasses that's doing it? I might actually have to take these off. Yeah, I'm going to. Give me 1 second, because it's going to drive me crazy the whole stream. No lashes, bitch. Whatever. Let's go. Driving me crazy. I would sit there and fiddle with it the whole stream, and it's not worth the stress. So it's not worth my like nitpicking over it. Nobody probably noticed, but whatever. Whatever. I want to wear these lashes, but they're starting to get on my damn nerve. I feel so like fancy with them on, like these nails. Like I feel so fancy, but they're kind of like practically annoying. Okay. So welcome in, Craft Crazy. It's good to have you here. Okay, so backtracking to the self-care, and what I will do, we were talking about this overstructured, and we're almost like self-flagellating, which, if you're not familiar with that term, I think I'm using it right, but it's where you're like berating yourself. Like imagine you've got like a flog or whatever, and you're just like beating yourself because you're not living up to whatever standard you set for yourself. Like you're beating yourself up. That's probably the gentle way to say it. Beating yourself up. So beating yourself up because you tell yourself like, and there's a couple of people that I'm like small streamers that I'm friends with, like tons of people of all sizes, but it's not just small streamers that talk about this, because it's even like some of my Twitch partner friends who are like, I really should be sticking to a schedule, and like I was supposed to stream tonight, and it's like, were you? We feel like we have to set these schedules and routines, and I'm very much a scheduled person. I make planners, you know what I mean? Like I'm very much that, but like I feel like I'm supposed to say I'm going to be live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 p.m. And it makes more consistent like audience return for sure, because there's a reliability. The audience, the viewers understand, like it's like when you're going to a coffee shop and see, I flip-flop because I remember another stream where I was explaining this in a more positive light, but I think I want to encourage a balance. Yes, shoot for a schedule, but don't beat yourself up, and be gentle and just go with the flow around it. Like stick to the structure of it, but kind of like just flow through it. Like maybe you don't go live that Wednesday, but you can go live Thursday instead. Like does the structure, does your audience think, oh, you're going to be live at 3 p.m. and then you're not there, and then they don't come back on Thursday? They probably have notifications turned on. They'll probably still turn up, right? Welcome in, Inuan. It's nice to meet you too. So, yeah, I was going to say, it's like a coffee shop. You know, they're open from 8 to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. So, you know, if you go there, it's at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a weekday, they're going to be there. And you can set yourself around that, but you're picking up a coffee from them. You're getting a product, you're getting a food, like, right? What you're getting from streamers is entertainment. And if I'm not live, this is a slippery slope here too. But if I'm not live, they can find something else to watch, right? There's something, some other Twitch streamer, music's probably too loud. There's some other Twitch streamer, there's a YouTube video, there's something they can go do. Like, I'm not like, if it's a coffee shop or a food place or somewhere where they pick up hardware or get their car fixed or something, that's you know, the hours being incorrect there could cause a serious like issue with the person's routine or structure, because that's how they were going to eat that day or whatever. Like, obviously they can go find another food place, but what, you know, but that's the difference. That's why it's a little more important for a physical business that offers a product to make sure that they stick to those hours. And for an online streamer who just offers entertainment, it's not that deep if you cancel the stream that day. That being said, that mindset is the same mindset that I will get into, that I will use as an excuse, and I will tell myself that as I cancel my 20th stream, my 5th week in a row, 3 months in a row. Like, who cares? I'm not that important. People can watch somebody else. And if you're constantly putting yourself in that mindset of I'm not that important, they can watch someone else. Do you see what I'm saying? There's two ends of a pendulum or a spectrum that we're going through here, of like taking it so seriously and putting yourself on a high enough pedestal, or being responsible enough that it's like, I said I'm going to be live at 4 p.m. every day, so I will be live at 4 p.m. every day. That way they can depend on me, and I will, no matter what, I'll be live at 4. Even if my friend is in town for the first time in a half a year and I'll never see them again for another year unless I hang out with them right now, I'm not going to cancel my stream. I just can't hang out with them. Or any other scenarios. I can't tell you how many times a friend has been in town or something like that. A friend calls and is like, let's go get coffee. And I'm like, I can't, I've got to stream. Or like my partner is in town and wants to have a movie night. And I'm like, I can't, I have to edit this video. I can't, I have to do this. I can't. So with my family, with holidays, with family dinners, with doing something with my sister, like the amount of times that I've canceled or blown off, things that would enrich my life as far as just my emotional state, probably, of spending time with friends, spending time with family, taking a bath, taking a night off, relaxing, not doing anything at all, like literally just like head empty, no thoughts. The amount of times that I have done that is really starting to weigh on me, I think. And so I think that's what I'm trying to stress here. There's the extreme end of, I will cancel. I will stream no matter what, even if it means I don't get to see a friend that I otherwise wouldn't have gotten to, or missed a once in a lifetime opportunity, or a once this month opportunity. Like, fuck the stream, fuck your YouTube video. Like, go have fun for a second. Go have that real world experience. Now, if it's like a long-term collab that's been heavily promoted, or a charity event or something like that, that's a little bit different. But if it's just you're supposed to go live and play a video game for 3 hours, do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not that deep. Like, go hang out with your friend, or go sit down and have dinner with your dad, or whatever it is. Like, go do that instead. And stay in the moment, like stay in the present moment. The other side of the pendulum is, like I said, I'm really important is one side. I'm really important, and people depend on me. I help uplift people's moods. People watch my streams and they fall asleep. I help people relax. And if I'm not there, then I'll be letting them down, and maybe they can't find somebody else to watch, and then they're stressed out. Like that's the extreme end of like putting yourself on a pedestal and thinking of yourself as important enough that you need to stick with what you said you're going to do. And the other side is I'm not that important. There's plenty of other streamers live. They'll find someone else. There's always something else they could do. They could go play a video game. I'm not. Those are the two extreme ends of it. And we got to come in between, right? We got to come into the middle. And this goes in lines with boundary settings. This isn't so much like with setting boundaries with your audience or your community. This is more about setting boundaries with your life, like with your lifestyle, with your personal health, your self-care. Like this is setting those kinds of boundaries. I think that something I want to start doing is at every certain time. I have the hydrate thing on Twitch, but over here I don't. So can I see how long I've been live for? Where do I see that information? I need to set some kind of alarm. Okay, 7:10. I'm gonna say every 10 minutes hydrate. Not a lot, but I'll stop to have a sip every 10 minutes. How about that? Okay. Work and stream boundaries, because what we're doing is work, right? We're trying, for most of us, some of us do as a hobby, but I'm talking to people who are trying to make a career or a job out of this. You have to have hours. You have to have closing time. One last call for alcohol. So finish your whiskey or beer. Sorry. So I said, someone said if you cannot stream often, then post a video, even if it's once a month. And honestly, like that's a good point. I stay in contact with my community even when I'm not streaming, whether it's through Discord or my Twitter, or I'm uploading YouTube videos or my Instagram stories. I stay in contact with my community. I try to keep them posted. There's been once or twice where I've just full stop disappeared. But if you stay in contact and you stay updated, it also makes your live streams more special when you actually go live. So this is why people who only stream once a week, but they're really active on a bunch of other platforms, this is why I think that they're more successful on Twitch, because there's a scarcity of their product on Twitch. There's a scarcity of the live stream. You can only catch them live once a week, so you better make sure to be there. Like on that you're going to clear your schedule. You can watch, you've got a streamer that you watch every single day, but you're not going to watch them on Saturday because this person's only live once a week. So Saturday night I'll watch this person, and then tomorrow I'll go back to my business as usual streamer that's live every single day. So the one that's there all the time that you can easily access anytime you want becomes the disposable entertainment content. This is why I think not being too accessible is a good strategy. We do need hours, like Pedro is saying, a 9 to 5. Like, and when I say hours, I mean you shut down Discord and you don't look at it anymore. You turn off Twitter. You turn off whatever it is that you're like constantly refreshing, or like obsessively checking and updating. That gets turned off. Your DMs are closed after 9 p.m. No one, you'll return it tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning when your hours start again. Like your hours would be 9 to 5, or they could be what you want them to be because you're making your own business. So it could be 11 to 6. It could be 12 to 4. It could be whatever you want it to be. So, do you have any other, I'm going to let Panthera go in order with the questions. Sorry. This is my like typical habit, but okay. So I'm going to scroll back up and we're going to start with, I feel like that's a good preface for what I'd like today's stream to be about, is just general boundary setting, respecting yourself, keeping space for things besides sitting at your computer hunched like a shrimp to where you've got neck and back problems chronically like I do, and making sure that you're getting away from, like, also like there's scientific shit, and you'll have to Google it because I'm not a smart man, staring at my computer screen that's 3 or 4 feet away from me or a foot away from me and never looking like 100 feet away from me is really bad for your sight too. It's bad for your eyes. So getting out of your house if you can, even if it's to sit on your front porch and just stare off in the sunset and have like a very existential introspective moment. Like even if it's something that simple, or looking out your window if you don't want to leave the house, that's fine too. But if you can, releasing yourself from the bonds of being stuck at the computer. So the shrimp pose, I know I've been actively like trying to like roll my shoulders back. I've been trying to keep that in mind. Creepy people on stream. We will. Yeah. Panthera, could you grab Tiffany Gamboa's about creepy people on stream? I definitely want to touch on that topic tonight. So let's start with Vincent, who said, and this is an interesting place to start because this is the crossover of you as a viewer and you as a streamer. So the other night I was in a Twitch stream and this guy came in venting, and me, one of the mods, and the streamer said no venting. Oh, I misread it. I thought you were the audience member. Okay. The other night I was in a Twitch stream and this guy came in venting, and me as a mod and the streamer said no venting in chat. And he was like, but people need to vent sometimes. And I was like, shocked emoji. Is it weary? Anguished. I was like, anguished emoji. So I understand being someone who needs to go into a chat and vent. People who are audiences in Twitch sometimes have no other social outlets. There's a lot of videos available on parasocial relationships and people forming social connections through the internet, whether it's through YouTubers, streamers, whatever it is. And sometimes it feels like that's their only social outlet. Some people come to the internet specifically to find social groups. And that's certainly part of the reason that I'm so active on the internet, and always happened since I was a teenager, is to find like-minded people that I can be my weird ass self with and not feel, and be like, wow, I'm understood here. And then I can be authentic. I can say what's on my mind. Like I can vent. The reason that this is difficult as a streamer is we are put in the position, like if somebody came in right now and just like trauma dumped in the chat about, having to deal with, how to say, let's see. I'm so upset because my boyfriend just dumped me and I don't know what to do and I'm really spiraling and I'm just so like, and I've certainly had people come in my channel and talk about wanting to off themselves, and not trolls, like legitimate people who are really expressing themselves. There's definitely trolls I've had come in that have said some dumb shit like that too, but it's so difficult to deal with. First of all, there is a liability issue as far as we go. So the level of venting, there's a difference between like when it gets into talking about mental health issues and people dealing with depression and especially like wanting to end their lives kind of thing. As a streamer, I think I have a catastrophizing brain. I think of the worst case scenario that could happen, but this is a possibility. It is in the realm of possibility that if someone comes into your channel seeking mental health advice and you have no licensing to deal with it and you're just giving them advice, especially to deal with the darker sides of depression, and then they leave your channel or your Discord server or your Twitter DMs or whatever it is, and they end up hurting themselves, and say their parents or their loved ones get involved and they start investigating their internet activity and they discover that you gave them advice that maybe it in some way or another caused the spiral to worsen or further, there could be some kind of legal action that could be taken place. There can be lawsuit pursued from that. So there is a liability issue that is concerned with content creators trying to give therapy to their audience, right? There's ways to talk to people and empathize and make space for harder feelings and discussions without being someone who's giving unqualified advice that could, besides the like fear of getting legally reprimanded, it's also just, we want to make sure that the person is getting the right help, right? We want to make sure that they're getting qualified, educated advice. And you're a gamer, okay? You're playing Overwatch, right? You're getting headshots on Fortnite, whatever it is. So like, and I'm not to say that we can't, because I make space. I'm not qualified or certified to give therapy or anything, but I'm certainly someone who is very open about my mental health and the things that I struggle with. There's a difference in me talking about my experiences and how I'm coping, as opposed to me getting in conversation with y'all and prescribing and saying, it sounds like you need to do this, or it sounds like you have this disorder and you should do that. Like that is where it starts to get dangerous, right? Okay. So I'm going to I don't know. Is that, yeah, that's sort of related because we're talking about venting. So venting isn't necessarily, venting can include the darker sides of depression discussion, but venting can also just be, I'm pissed off today and I'm so, and I'm upset because this went wrong and that went wrong and my boyfriend dumped me and I la la la. And then if someone's like, we can't, like, I'm sorry, we're trying to, the thing is like, I'm on stage. I'm trying to keep my energy and vibes up because I'm trying to be entertaining. Now, unless the space is already established to like chat about your problems or chat about like how you're feeling, like what's got you down lately or what sucks today, like unless that's the established vibe. And this comes in, this is where the internet gets really difficult. This is a social etiquette thing. This is a read the room thing. And there is a lot of neurodivergency, period, full stop, online, offline. Sometimes people literally can't read the room, and especially online, with chat specifically. The streamer, yes, they could, but streamers will oftentimes try to just be polite. And will, I know that how I typically handle like a really like that type of like venting energy is I will just kind of like skirt around it. I see it as like, don't feed it and it won't grow bigger. And this gets into more of the like spiritual new agey of like, attention, what is it? Energy goes where attention flows, or energy flows where attention goes. So the more attention you give something, the larger it gets. So if I just don't respond to it and I skirt over it and I pick something else out of chat to respond to, I control the dialogue. So as the streamer, you don't even necessarily have to respond to it out loud. You can also just get your mods to like purge it from the chat, or you could just like not respond to it and let the person just post it. At a certain point, you're going to grow so large that those types of things being posted in your chat will kind of bleed in with everything else. If it's just a general vent and it's not a like I'm ready to end it all kind of post. I think that's also a conversation you should have with the mods. Because like if the mods is like if you as the mod, that should be for you to shut down before the streamer has to express it out loud. I didn't mean for those alerts to be on. Hold up. But maybe it's 7:20. It's time for some water. Well, where the hell is my alert box? Where the hell's? I don't know, is it this one? Dang, I don't know. Main alerts, dumb. Okay, got it. Okay. All right, I'm going to go to a new question because I think we've kind of pushed in that. Panthera's got 13 DMs from her over here, so it's a lot of questions so far. How do you push back on boundaries? Like, how do you... Let's come over here and find that question. How do you... Let's see. How do you deal with the pushback on boundaries? Like, you set a boundary and get pushback. That's when we start to take action. And this is very difficult to do. You start banning people. You start timing people out. If they cannot listen to what you say and respect what you say, then they're removed, right? Or they're sent to the corner of shame. It's time for you to go sit in the corner and think about what you did. This is not easy to do. I'm really bad at doing this. And especially when it's a long-term community member or someone that you have developed the parasocial relationship with, of like, I see this person in my chat every single day and they're not always like this, but today they're having a bad day and they're getting too far and I don't want to have to time you out, but can you please stop? Like, I'm just trying to play Animal Crossing and forget about all of the shit that makes life suck. And maybe this is something that we need to like start collectively discussing at large. Maybe the more people that are publicly expressing that this streamers aren't therapists, streamers aren't your diary, streamers aren't your boyfriend or girlfriend. They're not your friend. They're not your best friend. They're not anything like that. They're not your mentor unless they enter into that relationship with you on their own. But like, just by proxy of me being here, I'm not your friend. I'm not your best friend. And it's so hard for me to say those words out loud, right? I want people to feel comfortable and happy around me and feel like I try to be as personal as possible. I want people to feel comfortable and like feel like we're friends. Like I like to make content that makes people feel at home or comfortable or like they're just hanging out in the room shooting shit with a friend. I like to make content like that. but that does not make us friends, right? And when I express a boundary with you, like as a viewer, as someone, or in my DMs or something like that, or if I start expressing a boundary and you get angry, or you feel a type of way, like bitterness, like, excuse me, like, why, like, I've been watching you. I always watch you. Like, I give you all, like, I've subscribed to you. I give you all this money. What do you mean? Like, you won't do this for me? What do you mean you won't return my DM? What do you mean? Like, that's, oh, is Pisces Pixie here? Hi. That is toxic as fuck. You need to check in with yourself. I don't know. You really need a wake up call when you are reaching that point. It's possessiveness. It is toxic. You don't own streamers. If you are donating or watching or subscribing or following or buying shit off their wish list or doing any of this stuff, they don't owe you anything at all, period. The only time that a content creator owes you something is when you buy something out of a shop from them, or when you are signing up for a Patreon or a coffee or a fan house that has some kind of exchange established, right? $5 a month and you get a personal DM from me, $10 a month and you get a 10-minute video, or whatever it is. Like, that is the only time you are owed something, when there is a clear declared exchange for that monetary, right? That's the only time. Me getting heated. And as a streamer, you're going to have to be okay with losing some people. You're going to have to be okay with banning some people. I'm not being able to see everything in chat, so thank you all for hanging out and being here. Sorry that I can't respond to everybody. You're going to have to be okay as a streamer with, you're saying you get pushback. Like, literally, Rose, at this point, it's, what I do personally is I start ignoring. Like, I kind of go into ghost it mode. Like, I'm not going to reply to you anymore. And then if you don't get the picture from that, like, then if you start projecting bitterness onto me, or really, like, coming at me for, like, why aren't you returning my DMs? Like, why, if that starts to elevate, then I'm starting to get more and more comfortable with just banning you, because you're no longer there to enjoy the public content that I'm creating. You're now trying to own me in a certain way. You feel an ownership over me and you want to control me. It's a control issue. So we have to be willing to put these walls down and say, no, I will not be returning your DMs. DMs are closed. Or when I'm on chat, I don't want to talk about, I'm not comfortable discussing sexuality because it's actually a triggering topic for me. I'm not comfortable discussing mental health because I'm struggling with mine, and I'm trying to be balanced and mentally balanced here and be in a good mood. I do not want to discuss politics or anything related to that because it stresses me out. And I for 1 second, I just want to stop thinking about it and play a video game. I do not want to hear about you getting fired at work because I can't do anything about it, and let's talk about the video game. Like, I'm here to talk about whatever it is, right? You have to be willing to say that and defend yourself. You have to be willing to be confident and stand in your space, right? Look at me taking deep breaths. Okay. I hope that makes sense. Some people, their streams are all about mental health. Dr. K is an example I can think of. Healthy Gamer GG on Twitch. That's a large content creator who I can think of. Their content is all about mental health, is all about and deep, like, psychological dives on mental health. So there are spaces for it. Just because you like a content creator does not mean they have to be everything you want them to be. Just because you enjoy a space, and this is the truth you should stand in so that you can defend your boundaries, right? Or you need to say this to someone, whatever it is. I'm obviously not saying it to y'all in chat, maybe some of y'all, but no, I'm kidding. This is what you need to be able to say to people, or think to yourself, so that you can defend your walls, you can defend your boundaries. Otherwise, you're going to grow to resent your community. You're going to grow to hate your community. And that's awful. That's terrible. You're never going to like what you're doing. You're going to loathe going live, and you're bending to the will of someone else, and you're no longer doing what you want to do. You're being controlled. And we see large streamers. We see this happen to streamers with 50,000 viewers, right? This is not an uncommon thing. This is something that we're all trying to learn how to navigate together. 7:28 water time. Yeah. Okay. Some people just really want to be seen. I often say, I get strangers' life stories constantly that it's really hard and I'm sorry you're going through that. I hope things get better soon. For me, there's only so many times I can say this. To one person, or I'm not your dumping ground is the other thing. Like I don't want to say this. I hope I'm not the only one feeling like this, and I'm just like I'm venting to y'all right now. But I'm not here for you to just. I can't be that for you all the time, right? Or even most of the time, or even some of the time. Like it's emotional labor. It's an emotional burden. It's emotional weight to look over in chat and see like I don't want people to feel like they can't share. Like this is where it comes into a social etiquette, and there's ways to tell when it is and it isn't appropriate to share some of these things. And if you're someone who is neurodivergent, it is difficult to tell when it is and isn't appropriate. This is about social cues, facial expressions, body language, and people with certain neurodivergencies, they aren't able to pick up on stuff like that. So it is very difficult, and especially as a streamer with audiences who range from non-divergent, neurotypical, that's the word, neurotypical people and neurodivergent people is I can't blanket say anything, because I can't be like, don't tell me that you're having a bad day because sometimes it's appropriate. Like if I'm venting about and I'm in the mood, like we're bonding about being in a bad mood together, like the community, we're all bonding. Like I've been talking about burnout a lot lately, and my anxiety and my stress. I've been talking about that a lot. So other people sharing their stories of stress and anxiety has been very relieving to me. It's been helpful to hear. It's been, I feel less alone, and I'm learning some coping mechanisms and stuff. Like maybe the difference is I've created a space and I've invited the conversation, right? Maybe that's the space, or that's the differentiation is I as the creator have invited that conversation. Okay. All right. Yeah, I hope it gets better, and I hope you feel better, starts to get hollow. And as someone who has been in the position of being the venter, I'm overwhelmed, I'm struggling, I'm spiraling, and someone being like, "Oh, that sucks, man. I hope you feel better soon." That's the worst thing to hear. That's not what I want to hear. That's not what I need to hear, I should say. But I also probably need to find a healthy outlet or some type of constructive, productive way to get this issue addressed, meaning therapy or something like that. I don't want to just be like, get therapy, because that's like shitty sounding too, but it's seeking out spaces where there are people who can actively help you rather than just a random quirky nerd that plays video games funny sometimes. They're not going to be able to fix your problems for you and yeah, I guess that's it. So as an autistic human, I struggle with this. I even got banned from chat once because I made a mistake, and the streamer punished me immediately. It was hard. I've seen this a lot with my autistic friends. Some of my autistic friends, I I have family members that have autism too, and it's how do I want to say it? I think that everybody needs a little education on how to interact with people that are neurodivergent. I think that people need to be and that point, I think we all need to learn to interact with each other a little bit differently, because you can't look at someone and say, oh, they're neurodivergent. It's typically invisible. So I think that there just needs to be, this is why I think there should be a larger conversation, an open conversation going on about this stuff, is so we can all kind of come to, this is also why boundary setting is difficult online, because I can see stuff in chat, and like as a streamer, I might take stuff like that y'all say wrong because I don't see your face. I don't hear the I don't hear the laughter that you're doing it with. And I'm like, oh, you're just being an asshole to me. Get out of here. I'm banning you. But it was totally a joke on your part. And the communication through the internet and text is muddying stuff up for sure. So yeah, this is a very large conversation. This one with boundary setting. social etiquette, and neurodivergency. And I surely am not qualified to maybe I can at least like talk around it and open, you know, like create a little bit of conversation around it. And I'm not like a groundbreaker. There's plenty of people talking about this online, but I don't know. Maybe we do need more laymen, people that aren't like bringing the conversation to people who don't seek out this type of specialized like education. Maybe that's part of the solution is the more generic mainstream people can bring it to raise more attention and awareness around how we can kind of approach this. Okay. Sarah? Oh my God. Hi. How are you? Oh my God, I miss you so much. Okay. Sounds like a deeply parasocial relationship. This is a friend of mine probably I haven't seen in so long. I miss you so much. I hope you've been well. It's good to see you. Okay. Okay. All right, let's go to a new question. Wow. I'm on one question. Panthera's got like 20 for me over here. Doing good. Okay. Okay. Control F. We've got, I am thinking on starting streaming, but once a month because my schedule's so messy. No, I don't think once a month is too little if you're only going to grow from Twitch, for sure. I don't think that you'll really see yourself picking up much momentum at all. But if you can take that once a month content, that video, and stream for like a good 5-hour chunk, or do something like I'm going to react to this, or I'm going to read this out loud, or I'll play this one video game that's a 4-hour playthrough and you beat it in 4 hours. And then throughout the month you edit it and you slowly release the clips on your Twitter or on TikTok, or once a week you upload the edited playthrough like in parts on your YouTube channel once a week, like 20 minutes at a time of the video. You could have a formula there, and you can go live only once a week. Once a month, but you have to be willing to work on other areas on the internet. If you're trying to build momentum on Twitch only and not use Twitter, not use YouTube, not use TikTok, you have to be a little more serious with a consistent schedule on Twitch, meaning a couple times a week. At least 2 times a week is what I would recommend if you're only going to be using Twitch. Okay. I'm gonna scroll down just because I want to see Sarah. I miss you too. Oh. Okay. All right. We've got Anime Chan. Thank you for your question, Inya and Rose. All right. I find myself struggling to make content outside of streaming. Yeah. Oh, this is a great segue. Yeah, I know I am starting out, but when it comes to clips or even a short 8-second skit on TikTok, I can't figure it out. If TikTok's not natural for you, don't do it. If you're having to force yourself to make Instagram content, don't use Instagram. You want to use a platform that you enjoy already, that you're regularly using, and you're already like, oh, I want to make a video like this. Oh, I have an idea for that. Oh, I want to do this. Like, I want to do a YouTube video like this. I want to stream this. If you're naturally already kind of like thinking these things that you want to do or want to make, then that's the platform you should be using. Don't use a platform just because you feel like you have to. When it comes to clips, I would ask friends. I think that a lot of us, especially when we're getting started, we don't know what our best moments are. We don't know what our funniest joke was. We don't see the funny thing. We don't know what's funny about us. We don't know what's cool about us, or what's, so I would try to find a friend that could help you figure that out. And maybe even they could like sit in your stream with you and be like, oh, and clip it for you live in the moment. Like, and if you don't have friends to do that, I mean, there's 2 options here, is starting to network and make friends with other small content creators so that y'all can kind of help each other grow, go in their streams, make clips of them, and then, in hopes that they might return the favor. Only do this with people you genuinely enjoy. I'm not encouraging superficial follow for follow stuff, or going into someone's stream with the intention of doing stuff for them to manipulate them to do stuff for you. But we're trying to create genuine connections where y'all can kind of like help each other grow, like help each other, scratch your back, scratch my back. Like, let's hang out on voice chat and play video games together while we're streaming to make this a little more fun, like whatever that happens to look like. That's one path you could take if you don't have a friend that can come in your stream and help you pick this out, or you're going to have to do it yourself. And you're going to have to just start guessing and be like, this seems funny. I like this part the best. And then start circulating them on other platforms. It'd be good to post it on TikTok specifically, because TikTok actually has an algorithm that can pick up. Twitter to a certain degree, but Twitter is a lot more about networking. TikTok, you can just kind of oops your way into the algorithm. So I would recommend putting it on TikTok or the Instagram Reels. You can kind of oops into Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts. All of these platforms where they're letting us make short form videos, everybody's pushing that type of content right now. The algorithm is favoring the short form video content, no matter what platform you're going on. I'm not personally the biggest fan of TikTok. It overstimulates me and stresses me out. But I like Instagram, except for all the ads. So I do like watching Instagram Reels. I really enjoy YouTube Shorts, but I don't like to go on TikTok. It genuinely stresses me out. I'm an overstimulated mess after an hour like TikTok scrolling. And so it's up to you. But the reason I suggest doing that is because you're going to start to notice what gets liked, what gets commented on, what doesn't. And if you don't have a friend or someone to tell you, or an audience on Twitch already, that will at least give you clues as like, oh, I thought this was funny, but nobody liked it. I didn't think this was funny. I kind of like guessed. I just was like, whatever, I'll throw this up. And then everyone thought it was hilarious. So I'm learning that when I do this voice, it's funnier than I realized. Okay. 7:40, time for some water. I'm trying to take deep breaths, but I do feel like I'm still talking without breathing. It's really hard for me to not do that. All right, we got a question from Tiffany, which is also my name. Hey, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, it's because I'm not putting the apostrophe. Haha. Hey, I don't know if you touched on this, but I was hoping if you could touch on creepy people on stream or YouTube and how you deal with that, because sadly misogyny exists. If it's too much, I understand, was the final part of that. It's not too much, and I do think that misogyny is its own topic, but I think that creepy people exist for everyone regardless of their gender identity. I've seen it happen to all of my friends all across the spectrum. People like to thirst after people, and people like to stan people and become simps and all of this kind of stuff, right? This is, yeah, Tiffany twins. So it's, yeah, breathe, darling. Okay. It happens to everybody. That's the first point I want to get across. The second point I want to get across is, block it, delete it, get rid of it everywhere that you can. Do not feed it at all if you don't like it. Some people are trying to create content to build that type of audience. Is that Brennan of the Woods? Some people are trying to oh my god, Aster, good luck with your stream. I hope it goes well. I'm your simp, Shady. I'm your simp, Rogue. Shrimping. Oh man, you're right. I'm shrimping hard too. When I first started streaming in 2016, I did not understand boundaries at all. I did not understand that men making comments in my chat, and I'm using that word very specifically, but because that's what it was, about my body, about my appearance, about how beautiful they thought, whatever. And I don't mean to say that like there's one thing I can't stand. It's the humble brag of like someone really hot that's like, God, it's so annoying that everyone just finds me attractive. But the thing about the internet is that it even if you're not like traditionally attractive or conventionally attractive or whatever, someone can still come in and like objectify you and like leech onto you and project that kind of sexual energy or whatever it is onto you. So I don't mean to sound like an obnoxious person when I'm talking about this, but I didn't understand that those comments should not be tolerated because I wasn't getting, I was a new streamer. I didn't have a lot of viewers. So someone in my chat was a good thing, right? There's someone here. It doesn't matter what they're saying. And there was a clicking point for me of I will not entertain this shit at all ever again, and I'm about to be an asshole to every single person that even remotely makes me think this is what their intention is, was maybe my I think it was still my first year of streaming, and I was wearing a low cut top and had cleavage visible, and I went to stand up from my computer, and I was like, so it was like kind of like leaned over, so it was like a down shirt shot, right? Not obnoxiously so. I was just literally like standing up from my computer, like it just a normal thing. And one of my viewers, who was not just an asshole, just a piece of shit, either screen capped it or took a picture with their cell phone. And this was when I was still using Snapchat. So if that tells you how old this story is, but, sent it to me on Snapchat, either the screen cap or the picture with the phone of that like spot. So it's like they paused the stream to get that shot. Right. And then, and I was like a 7 viewer streamer. This is not like, you know what I mean? And this definitely happens to people with large audiences too. But I think that this type of energy, which I would classify as predatory, it is especially, it happens a lot to people who are small content creators, because we don't have boundaries set, because we don't have mods, because we don't know how to say no to that type of stuff or shut it down or ban them, because we're so desperate for that one viewer to get us out of the 0 viewer spot, right? He sent me the picture on Snapchat and he said, more streams like this, please. And I deleted Snapchat, first of all, because that was like one of 3 interactions I'd had on the app. So I was like, okay, done with this. And this was like the start of me not showing cleavage on stream anymore, which is not the solution. That is what I did in the moment to make myself feel better. But me altering how I dress to avoid the harassment is not the answer. The answer is people stop being shitheads. But that also was like, I'm done tolerating people that are making me feel this type of way. And again, this is different for everybody. Some people don't mind audience members engaging with them in this way. I do mind. And so this is up to you to determine what you're comfortable with. And this is part of boundary setting, is learning what your boundaries are. And trust me when I say that if you don't know your boundaries before streaming, stream 3 days a week for a year, you'll fucking learn them. I'm sorry I'm cussing so much in the stream, but I'm also trying not to censor myself anymore. I don't know. I know I've said in a past Q&A session that I wanted to be a little bit more like, you know, but I think I don't want to be. I think I want to be myself. That's what I think. I think I want to be just myself. I don't want to feel like I'm censoring myself too much. I still think that there's an appropriate amount to censor for the internet, but so you was Tinder. Yeah, but Tinder is a different beast because it's in a romantic setting. I'm not saying I think it's really that much more appropriate, but just me hanging out and drawing on stream or playing a video game on stream, like you sitting at the library versus you sitting at the bar at a club, right? The bar at a club, you certainly don't want someone to come and be like, nice tits or whatever. But it would feel a little less like a slap in the face than if you were sitting at the library and someone came up and said that to you, right? Is Fuzzy here? Right. Hello. So yeah, not to say that I think it's appropriate that it's at a bar, but I feel like it's almost a little more expected, that kind of behavior or demeanor. You know what I mean? Oh, you were just kidding. Okay, sorry. To establish your boundaries with viewers, do you just strictly use your rules section? Yes and no. Your rules create the initial barrier, the initial warning, the initial vibe check. Like, they have to agree to the rules usually before they can use your Twitch chat. They pop up on screen and they say, okay, or something. So that's your first soft boundary right there, is you've written it in text and they have to agree to start chatting with you. Breath and water. Dang, you know what? I want to have a piece of chocolate. How about that? Fuzzy Jello, how are you doing today? I've got my chocolate of choice right now. I don't know if I've shown these on this stream before. Are Hershey's dipped pretzels. They're milk chocolate with a dark chocolate drizzle. So they're chocolatey and salty all at the same time. Okay. A chocolate break. And a soda. Share. Here you go. Like, do y'all want one? Here's a chocolate. You can have one. Just reach up and grab it. It's right here for you. You don't want it? Okay. All right. I tried. Dr. Pepper is my favorite soda. Okay. Snack break, chill break for a second. To establish your boundaries with your viewers, do you use the rules section? So yes, you set the rules, but you are going to have to get comfortable. Like if we had someone in chat right now that was saying sexual comments toward me, what I would expect to have, like that one's too easy. That's a no-brainer. That's an immediate ban from me. But if it was someone who was like maybe making the conversation a little political, maybe they were just kind of like, or maybe I was talking about the pandemic. Okay, this is a good one. Okay. So say your rule is no political discussions, right? Let's talk about politics, like, because that's kind of a general dinner table rule, right? No politics, no religion, because they tend to create divisive environments where people like to argue with each other. Or it can lead to arguments because of people's, this whole thing. Some people are very openly political on their channels, or open with that type of stuff, and that's their right to do so. It's also my right to protect my blood pressure. But say I have that rule, no politics, and someone comes to my channel and they're a normal community member. We're hanging out, we're having a good time. Everyone's vibing. And then I make some offhanded comment about like, oh man, I wish I could go do this, but the pandemic, I can't go to the movie theater because I don't want to go out in the pandemic. And this sets the person in chat off to make some kind of political statement about their view on the, oh, thanks, Sarah. They're actually, you will not believe that they're press-ons from the grocery store. I don't want to say the name of the grocery store because it is totally a dox, but the grocery store that starts with an I, they're press-ons from there. They're $8 press-ons from a grocery store. Can y'all believe this? I'm like obsessed. This is my third box that I've bought. Wait, I can show you the little box. It's in the makeup section. They'll stay on for a good like 3 or 4 days. Kiss nails. There you go. They're like, I don't know. I like them. I've been into this like little like generic French tip moment, but okay, sorry. Beauty guru burst from my chest. Yeah, I've been loving press-ons, and we can thank Candy Matic for that. Candy Matic turned me on to press-ons. But yeah, so I say something offhanded about how I can't go to the movie store or the movie theater because it's a pandemic. This person in chat starts to make a huge, they go on a rant or something. They start to rant about the pandemic's this, the pandemic's that, or like, this is my view on the vaccine. And it creates a, holy shit, man. I was just talking about, I don't want to go to the movies. What are you talking about? Like, it creates this whole disaster in the chat, right? And you as the streamer are not comfortable with that discussion because you've already said no politics, right? At this point, I would probably not respond to it out loud, and what I would do is I would purge the chat, which is a 1 second timeout on Twitch, which just kind of like removes the chat. It says this, message is deleted. It doesn't time them out or ban them. And I'm only saying to do this for people who are like community members, that you know to some degree. So like if Fuzzy Jello started just like ranting about the pandemic or whatever right now, and I don't really I'm not trying to moderate that conversation, so I don't want to go do that somewhere else. There's plenty of people that are having that discussion. I'm not doing it. What I would do if it was someone like Fuzzy Jello, who's an established community member that I'm familiar with, we have some rapport, I would probably just like write, like in YouTube, I think it's a little bit different, but I could put the user in timeout. I can time you out here. Oops, I clicked off the question. Well, we'll have Fuzzy up there since I'm kind of like lightly picking on him right now anyway. But if you purge the chat, it's usually it's everything that they've said. It's the individual person. So in Twitch, it's a little like circle with a line crossed through it, that is like the timeout one. That might be banned, and I think there's one that looks like a clock that is timeout. So just get familiar with the moderation tools on Twitch in general, like look over the buttons and see what they do, and maybe test them on one of your friends, or make a bot account or a side account that you can come into your chat and see how it works. Timing someone out for 1 second is what it is, will purge it. it will erase everything they've said in chat. It will just delete the text from the chat. And that is not a ban. They're not actually timed out. They can keep typing. But that should be a very clear message that you're saying something, you're doing something wrong. And if this is only for a well-meaning community member that might be just off on a tangent, it's like, stop talking about this. And as the streamer, I'm going to do this quietly. I'm not going to respond to it out loud, because the second I start vocalizing it, the chat will start talking about it too. You are in control of the conversation. Nothing becomes the conversation until you want it to. This may only be true to a certain extent, because like if you're a streamer who's got 50,000 people in chat, sometimes chat just goes crazy and does whatever the hell they want to. So I think I'm talking specifically to like streamers that are probably under like the 200 to 300 viewer mark, like the smaller streamer side, right? So I would purge the chat first. I wouldn't say anything out loud. I would hopefully have a mod that would know to do it. But if I don't have a mod present, then I would even if I need to, I'd just stop talking for a second. And I'd just quietly go over to chat and I'd just purge it. And then I wouldn't even be like, so anyway, I would just act like I just paused to look at my cell phone or paused to take a breath or something, right? Pause to take a breath. And if that doesn't work, if they continue, or if they start to be like, why did I get timed? What was that about? Why did I get timed out? And then they start to kind of throw a tizzy, I might give them a 5-minute ban. If it's a well-meaning community member, I might give him, or I might respond out loud, or I might just say, I might just time him out for the stream and be like, I'll have a conversation with you later, Fuzzy. I'm gonna time you out for now. We can chat about this later, but I'm just gonna keep focusing on my stream and try to have a good time. Like that might be kind of like the soft way that I would deal with that scenario. Sorry, Fuzzy. Rogue, you just asked a question, and Panthera should pick it up out of chat and DM it to me. So shame on you, Fuzzy. Now, if it's someone who's not a well-meaning community member, they just come in out of nowhere and they're like, "What's your thoughts on the vaccine?" You know what I mean? Or that, for me, that's like that kind of conversation is a clear boundary for me. This is not something I'm willing to create content around at all. So except in this context, I guess. So it's easy for me to see that and go, no. But if it could be softer, like someone venting about their day. I'm not just going to purge someone because they're talking about their day. Do you know what I mean? If it's a well-meaning community member. I've had people come in out of nowhere, especially when I'm doing tarot. This is what I mean. This is so incredibly nuanced. You have to answer this question for yourself in every single moment. So is writing the rules on Twitch your only thing that you do when it's enforcing your boundaries? Absolutely not. You will sometimes have to time people out or ban them. And you'll have to determine what you have a 0 tolerance policy for and what you're like, I'm just going to time you out for 10 minutes. You go sit in the corner for a second. Like you're being a weirdo. And it's what you are comfortable with, what you aren't comfortable with. You determine that for yourself. I can't tell you that. I can only tell you some of the the strategies that I go about implementing the timeout when I see something that is a clear no for me, or kind of no for me. But you will constantly have to enforce your boundaries verbally through your chat moderation to your mod team behind the scenes, so that they know what to ban for you, what they know what you're not comfortable with. So communicating with your mod team so that they understand and they can help. That's how you're going to be enforcing the boundaries. And then we get to a whole other discussion when we're not talking about your chat anymore. We're talking about other streamers collabing and how you interact with them on Twitter. But that's, I think, maybe a conversation for another day. Okay, we're going to move on. That one was the wrap up for, Tiffany. And I actually missed one here from Sweet Roll Stealer. Oh my God, Sweet Roll Stealer? You better stay away from my plate. Do you have any advice on setting? It's not popping up for me. All right, I'm gonna have to read it out loud. The chat must have already disappeared from there. But the question says, I wish I could get it on screen because it helps me when I'm trying to chapter the video later. But do you have any advice on setting the boundary when people are talking about something that could be, quote, negative on stream, like a passing of someone, for example? Thank you for the great content. So like someone in their family passing away or something like that. I might give them the sorry for your loss kind of. If I'm the streamer, I might be like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear about that, and then just pick right up and keep back in with what I was doing. I don't want that person to feel unseen or whatever, but at the same time, I'm not required to like focus on that and give them like you know what I mean? I'm not required to do that as a content creator. So this is, again, what are you comfortable with? What aren't you comfortable with? Maybe you're someone who wants to express like how like you're like, oh, you know what? I actually want to talk about like so-and-so of mine that just passed. Like let's have a bonding moment. Like sometimes that could happen, but the way this question is phrased is you don't want to go into this subject. 'Cause this can be very triggering for people. That's the thing, is like just the other thing about this is that streamers, what if so-and-so in my family just died 2 weeks ago and I'm really like not doing well about it, and you bring it up in chat because you're looking for empathy and you want to connect with the community, and that's all fine and good. And when I say like, oh, I'm sorry for your loss, and then I go back to the video game and you keep dwelling on it, you start going into details of the funeral and the this and the that, and then I'm starting to spiral in my mind because I'm remembering what just happened 2 weeks ago, and like you don't know what the streamer is dealing with. And this is a very generic, you never know what somebody's going through kind of thing. So when a streamer is enforcing a boundary, we don't know why they have that boundary, and it's none of our business. If I don't want to talk about politics, who knows why? Like maybe I've had some really stressful, awful situations, or my ex was like constantly berating me with it, or my father did this and that, or whatever it is. Like maybe there could be some personal reason that is like emotionally triggering that streamer. So we can't expect streamers to make space for everything that we want to talk about all the time. Like this cycles back to, just because you like a streamer doesn't mean they have to be everything you want them to be. Just because they have space for like, well, you're willing to talk about anxiety and depression, but you're not willing to talk about like me having to go through this life-threatening surgery. And it's like, no, because I have trauma around surgery. But I don't have trauma around anxiety. Well, I do. But you know what I mean? This isn't really a personal example, but we don't know why people have the boundaries that they do. So, and I think that's something that we need to be willing to stand firm in. You don't owe people an explanation either. You don't have to tell people why you have that boundary. I don't have to explain why I don't want to do this. I don't want to hear that. I don't want you to say this to me. I don't want to talk about that. I don't have to explain that. I don't know anybody that. You don't know anybody that. That's very important. You can just have a boundary and it can be respected. And if it is not respected, they get banned, they get timed out, they get purged, they get blocked, whatever it is. This might escalate into a harassment, but I think we should also do harassment on a different day. We could talk about like trolls and harassment and doxing. That could be a whole other conversation on its own. If you ban someone in chat and then they start harassing you on Twitter, you block them there and then they make a side account. That's still a boundary issue, but that's more of a harassment issue. So I think we might do that on a different day. Okay. Unwanted flirting. I'm going to go ahead and go here. Hi, Alpin. How do we deal with unwanted flirting, compliments about appearance from established community members? Oh my gosh, that one's difficult. Let me think about it for a second. Clarification follow-up question. Do you allow everybody or anybody to comment on your appearance, or is it only a specific person that you don't like? Like, I don't mind if this person comment, like, or if chat in general, or like I make comments about my body, but when this person does it, I don't like it. Is this an individual issue or an issue with certain individuals, or is this a generic, I don't want comments on my body, or I don't want comments about my appearance? Specifically thirst comments, because there's a difference in being like, wow, your hair looks good today, and oh, hi, beautiful, you look so good, what's up, what are you playing? Like there's a difference in that, right? So I want to wait for the clarification. While I'm waiting for the clarification, I'm gonna have some water. I could go off in both directions though. How far are we into stream? An hour? Yeah. Oh, we're at 111. Wow. Specifically thirst comments. Okay, so it's thirst comments. I would verbalize that boundary and I would add it to your rules. Please don't make objectifying comments about me. Please don't objectify me. Please don't make comments that sexualize me. Some form of that into your rules. That is what I would do. I don't feel that I've needed to add, I say no sexual harassment or no harassment, no sexual harassment, no this harassment, no that. I have a general no harassment rule, but I don't have a rule about objectifying me in my comments. It would make me feel conceited. It would make me feel like, oh, I know I'm attractive. Don't mention it. Like, it would make me feel like that. So I can understand maybe it might make you feel like that or somebody feel like that too. And if it does, I've found that I just don't have, I just establish it. Like, I'm like, you can just say when it happens, like, oh man, I don't like to be objectified, and then just move right on. Like, don't dwell on it. Don't make a big thing out. If it's an established community member that you enjoy, but just like, don't flirt with me. Like, oh, I don't want to be flirted with. Ooh, weird. Like, make a joke about it and then just move right past it. Right? Kind of banter, play it off, but make it clear that you're like, oh, you flirting with me? What? No, don't do that. Like, weird. Spray water, right? Like, make a joke about it and then just move right past it and go back to your gameplay. And if they do it again, that's when they get the purge, because you've made a soft boundary and you've done it in a playful way that can allow everyone to recover and move on. No hard feelings, right? You've created a no hard feelings thing, and they are pushing it farther. So yeah, no pet names. Don't objectify me. Like, ew, why would you talk about my body like that? That's so weird. Like, literally, like if there's someone who doesn't really do any, like, that's all they're doing wrong. Other than that, they're like a pretty good community member. That's easy enough. Just kind of like, shoot it down like a cat, like don't get on the table. What are you doing? Don't get on the table. We're still friends. Come here, I want to pet you, but don't get on my table, right? Like, ew, I'm not your mom. I'm a creepy swamp witch. Leave me alone. Like, yeah. The second time they said it, they were banned. Exactly. You set the first boundary as a joke, as a banter, as a like, ew, I'm not your mommy. What? And then if they're like, okay, whatever, mommy, then I'm like, you had your warning. That's it. Like, I'm all right. So that's how I would approach this. Okay. So tired of mommy comments. There's so many unresolved mommy issues in our society. Okay. So, all right, let's see. We got Rose Dagger. Oh, Lord. Rose coming in with the real questions, though. Ways to... Dang, my questions are going away. I'm not moving fast enough. Wow. Shit. Okay. Damn, I'm really not moving fast enough. Ways to provide space without being a therapist. Specific streams like this. This is a stream where we're discussing boundaries, right? I've titled the stream. So today I'm talking about how I grieved this loss. Today I'm talking about burnout and my anxiety cycle. And while you're having the conversation and you're expressing something yourself, chat, how do you deal with your anxiety? How do you, what are, how, when you were trying to find like title of the stream, finding a therapist, how to find a therapist, or I'm like, how finally going on my therapy journey or something like that. Right. And then while you're in the conversation or the monologue moment, the expression moment of yours, chat, when you were first looking for your therapist, where did you go? Did you go online? Was someone recommend them to you? Did you just go with the first doctor you found, in your, like on your Google search in your area? Like, ask them, like, what was your first therapy session like? What should I expect with it? Like open-ended questions that invite people to share these things, but you're, I don't know, I guess maybe I'm saying in a little bit of a way to not take an expert role, because that's the way that I'm doing. I'm asking questions in a like help me kind of position, instead of a like I know everything about therapy and I'm here to teach you how to heal your anxiety. Like coming at it from a not expert place. and creating an open-ended conversation where you're not you're not there to heal or fix or solve. You're here to create an open conversation about how everybody's experiences, sharing of experiences. But this is still a boundary. This is still setting a boundary. In today's stream, I'm comfortable discussing this, but tomorrow we're going to be playing Animal Crossing, and let's try to steer clear. Like maybe tomorrow's not a good example because there might be some follow-up to the conversation before. So maybe let a couple days go by and the follow-up conversations to yesterday when you said this, it was such a good idea, and I called my mom today and told her I wanted to go to therapy and she said yes. Like the follow-ups feel natural, right? But after that point, if you're not comfortable with it anymore, it's okay to say like, oh, I don't know if I really am in the headspace to discuss this today, but maybe we can do another stream like that in the future, right? Creating a specific stream space where this is okay. If you want to, you're saying, how can you make space without being a therapist? If you want to create let's talk about boundaries. And maybe like the last Q&A we did, we talked a lot about branding and stuff. And like today I said, let's talk about harassment on a different day. I don't know that I want to go down the rabbit hole of harassment today because I'm pretty stressed out this week, and thinking about harassment might make me a little bit more paranoid and stressed. And I don't know if I'm comfortable with that today. So let's do that on our next Q&A, right? That's the soft boundary. Okay. Next we have Inyaman. I hope I found this one. All right. This one's such a good question. These are all great questions. This is a good stream. This is a good conversation we're having. Thank you all for bringing such good questions to the table. I'm so slow at answering these questions that they're disappearing from my chat screen and I can't get them up on screen. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that down because it's not relevant to what we're talking about. Inyaman says, Shady, how would you make boundaries on streaming while you live with your parents and siblings? Such a good question. I do live with my parents and siblings. I live with my brother and I live with my mom and my dad. I am an adult. So this might be different for some people. I'm like I'm about to be able to be old enough to run for president. So y'all better watch out. No, I'm kidding. But it's a little different. I have a different level of confidence than I did when I was like 15 or even 20. There was a little bit of embarrassment that I had when I first started streaming of feeling overheard. And even sometimes when I'm on certain topics, because I share a wall with my brother and I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to my brother for having to listen to me right now. But I think I'm adult enough that and like maybe emotionally mature enough at this point that it's all right, but I also have a pretty good relationship with hi Alexion. I have a pretty good relationship with my brother and my mom and my dad, and my family in general, my sister too. So I'm very open. They know everything. So I don't mind them overhearing me. I don't mind them talking to me about stream. This could be very different for people who are trying to explore their identity online. And especially for my, viewers and friends who are in the queer umbrella, the LGBT spectrum, that when you're exploring that identity, and even if it's not that, but I know that is a specific issue that this could be very relevant here, but there's a lot of ways that you could be exploring your identity too. Like I know that my friends that are into magical stuff and tarot and witchcraft and things like that, it's often something that people can feel closeted about as well. Okay, maybe this isn't exactly what you were asking, so I'm going to circle back to your question in a different way in a second. This is a little bit more about being comfortable in your identity and not worrying about feeling judged or being judged by your family. I feel like I have maybe a bit of privilege here because I do have good relationships with my family and I don't mind being overheard. I don't feel judged by my family. So maybe I could even find someone I could have a conversation that wouldn't mind having a conversation where we could kind of flesh this out on they've got a different experience with this, so that we could get this on a different topic, or get this with a different perspective, because I don't think I'll be able to speak to it personally. Because I truly I live in such a space, I live in such a way that anyway, that's irrelevant. Let me think for a second. I don't know, if you're worried about being overheard, be an ASMR streamer. You know, like try to do things where you can be like a little bit more quiet, or I don't know. Are we talking like your friends and family, or your family members that might go on your social media or like show up in your streams and you don't want them there and it makes you uncomfortable? Oh, Plan with Raven, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. Maybe I don't know how to answer this question. I'm struggling. I know, but I don't think I have a good way to answer it right now. And I feel like maybe like I'm thinking about like getting someone else to ask their thoughts on like feeling judged by family. Let's see the question again. How would you make boundaries on streaming while you live with your parents and siblings? So there's like follow-up questions that are we worried about them overhearing us? Are we worried about them coming into our live stream? Are we worried about them seeing what we're doing when we're trying to hide, like, I don't want to say hide a part of ourselves, but while we're not comfortable with them seeing a part of ourselves, what exactly is the like issue? Like what is actually going into that issue, right? There's a lot of different answers that could come out of this, because there's a lot of different, you know, some people are just like, don't open my door while I'm streaming. That could be the boundary, right? And I've known a couple of people that have dealt with that. And in a certain way, I kind of had to like train, quote unquote, my mom when I first started streaming, because she would come to my door all the time and like knock and like open my door and just walk in. I'm like, I'm streaming. Like, you can't do this. Like, and some people don't mind if like their mom just walks in on stream, but like I do. She would, to be fair. She doesn't want to be on, she's not a camera person. She doesn't want to be on camera. She doesn't want to be broadcast on the internet. So that was a boundary I had to set with my mom. And all it was like, hold on, I'm streaming, like, and maybe a little bit of an attitude to my voice. And that was certainly something we had to work through together. But it's like, don't come in here, mom, I'm naked, like basically kind of feeling, right? But what that evolved to was whenever, you know, my mom would come into my room, because she doesn't always just barge into my room, but she always knocks now if she's there. And she's like, the first question she asks is, are you streaming? That's the first question she asks now. So maybe I kind of like traumatized her. I don't know. But it was like, I take this seriously. I need you to take it seriously too. That was kind of a boundary I had to work through with my mom. But she's great about it. It wasn't even anything it was just, it throws me off, and I know that she would be uncomfortable on camera, and I would be uncomfortable, the whole thing. So I want to, that was the boundary. That was the work through there for me. And maybe you have to sit down and say, like, I can't, like, when maybe you get a sign that you put on your door. Like, this could be get a little neon light up sign from Amazon that says on air. Do you know what I mean? You could do a cute thing with it. I think that's cute. But you could have a thing that you hang off your doorknob. It's something that to signify to your family members that I'm streaming, don't disturb me. A do not disturb sign of some kind. That could be a good way to enforce that boundary non-verbally. So there's no, don't come in, I'm naked moment that sucks for everybody involved, right? That's like a more lighthearted boundary setting with a family member of don't come into the roommates even. And maybe you could even have, if it's like, I can't have my brother's so quiet and respectful. This is never an issue, but maybe he's like really loud and he plays really loud music and it messes up my audio, and I'm trying to record a voiceover or something, and like that. And I've done voice work before. So, and it's been like, I'm about to rip my hair out because every time I start to record the dog barks, or my brother's yelling down the hallway at my mom or something like that. But at that point, it's up to me to go communicate with him and say, hey, I'm going to go live. And I'm going to be live for 2 hours. Could you not play your radio, or could you not play the music? Could you not do this until I'm not live anymore? And that's, of course, we're going to have to be reasonable. We're going to have to, there's compromise. This is a discussion. This is communication and compromise, and hey, this is messing with my recording. I'm trying to I'm trying to get a career in voice work, and I need a good voice recording. Can I have 20 minutes of just silence, or like not radio, or not loud yelling, or whatever it is, like not you throwing the tennis ball against the wall or whatever, right? Okay. I think I'm going to cover that question to that point. And because I think that like the judgment and the identity one is a whole different conversation. And I feel like I would want a different perspective, either like consult with someone with a different perspective or even maybe have someone in as like a guest collab kind of thing. A green screen and communication with your household. True. Green screen can help solve a lot of problems. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's see here. We've got my personal online. Oh, still haven't caught up. All right. Christina Nicole says, my personal online friend who was in my chat once got upset that I was being friendly with a new follower and not replying. Oh, and not replying enough to their chats instead. Wow. So it's a real life friend, your personal online friend, but it's a real life friend who has the ownership over you. That's a communication issue. That is communicate to this friend, like, you have access to me all the time. We can talk in DMs anytime. We hang out all the time playing video games. Like, I'm going live and streaming because I'm trying to build an audience and I have to nurture this audience. I have to give them the attention. I have to focus on them. And I would hope that you would help me focus on them, right? Because a real life friend or like a personal online friend could be a mod for you. They could be someone that's welcoming people into chat. So they could be tag teaming with you and helping. Sounds like, honestly, sounds a little toxic. Sounds like a possessive, like a little bit of a toxic situation going on there. I could depend on age, could depend on a lot of things, but that's definitely a possessiveness and an ownership there. You reposted the question if you want to select the comment to show. That is awesome. That is awesome. That would help so much, Panther, because having them on screen where is it? It's going to help when, I think I have to get a new overlay link now. Maybe let's try one more time. When I'm trying to do the chaptering, having that question on screen lets me know when I've switched topics and it makes it so much faster. Let's see. Browser source. Let's click on the question again. There we go. Panthera with a big brain. Holy shit. All right. The next question is from Pisces Pixie. All right, stream. This is my roommate, but she doesn't want to be on cam, so that scares her away. Oh my God. That's kind of cute. Okay, so the question from Pisces Pixie is, Pisces Pixie is an awesome tarot streamer, by the way. Love her to death. Check her out on Twitch. Says, what ways can you handle someone who gift bombs / bit bombs / tip bombs using large amounts of money to bond? Buying your love, buying your time, buying your affection. Man, this one's so difficult, but this is a really important one to talk about because this happens a lot. Okay, I need water. How are we doing on the queue? Oh my Lord. I'm going to speed up. I'm going to speed up a little bit, but okay. This is, don't know how to shut up. I'm so long-winded. Whenever companies reach out to me to do sponsored videos, by the way, I have a sponsored video going up on Friday and it's a fully dedicated video. So it's like a 15-minute video on how to use this service. I got $2 in my bank account right now. What can I say? Okay, it's gonna give me some groceries, but I think it's actually like a pretty cool tool. So I wouldn't have agreed to it if I didn't think it. But bear with me with sponsored videos and shit. Sorry, I'm not sorry, but I know that I know. Whatever, like whatever. I bitch gotta buy some groceries. Like I don't know what to tell you. So okay. All right, Pisces Pixie. What ways can you handle someone who gift bombs, bit bombs, tip bombs using large amounts of money to bond? I'm not sure if Pixie's still here. I have follow-up questions. Maybe I have follow-up questions all night. There's so many questions here. What do you give in return for this? Because I know that Pixie is someone who offers like Patreon teaching sessions, right? So there are ways for your community members to have more intimate moments with you. Like, oh, we're also doing stream reviews in the Offbeats Discord tomorrow. So if y'all want to jump in, well, it's a promo for sure, but if y'all would like to jump into Offbeats Discord, we're going to be doing stream review sessions at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be all on voice chat together. We're going to be chatting about, we might pull up y'all streams and look over them and help with like profiles and stuff, or we may just talk about concepts. We always kind of just play it by ear and see how it goes. So we're going to be doing that at 3 p.m. Eastern. It'll probably go for 2 or 3 hours. I usually have about 2 hours in me, and then I'm like out of energy. All right. So the person will love bomb, tip bomb, gift bomb, etc. in order to dominate the content that's happening. So today, Anon, I had 2 guys gift warring and I didn't know what to do. Fighting for that pixie affection. And it was like controlling your content. This especially sucks when you're trying to do a specific playthrough, or you're trying to, like this type of thing. If I was trying to give like a Q&A, we have a specific focus. And then, but I mean, I don't know. There's like 2 sides I want to go to this. One side is like in the live stream field, this can just happen sometimes. And I would probably encourage you to create or come up with ways that you can start to banter with that while it's happening, because you're also getting paid. Do you know what I mean? Or I would turn off the ability to tip. I know that's not an option. I just gonna say it for posterity's sake. But if that starts happening of like 2 people, because it happens all the time. People are like, oh, you donated 5 bits, I'm gonna donate 6 bits. I want to be the bitboard leader. Twitch encourages this too. The format of the website encourages people to want to compete for the top 3 spots at the chat, right? How do you join? I'm wondering, I can't tell from the thumbnail very much. Are you a Remy that I know in real life? Sorry, I can't tell from the thumbnail. I'm curious about that. Sorry. How do you join on YouTube? It's literally the button called join underneath my video. So subscribe is just subscribing for content in your feed. Joining is a membership. So it's like a Twitch subscription. I also have a coffee, which I would, of course, if you'd like to join on YouTube, that's great. I would almost recommend the coffee over it, because the coffee, I'm actually planning exclusive content for subscriptions there. And I don't think I can keep up with doing like private YouTube. I don't think I'll be able to do that. So you do get the emotes. That's true. Okay, this is a regular stream where someone tips bombs when there's no direct exchange. It sounds like a great thing sometimes too. So how to handle it all in all takes. I would find a way to banter with it. I would find a way to how can you make this part of the show? Okay, we talked about this earlier too. Where attention goes, energy flows. So if you are ignoring it, if you don't like it, your reaction will encourage. So if you're like, oh my God, and you're having this whole streamer reaction to it, and they're doing it specifically for your reaction, if you stop reacting as much, or if you turn the alerts off, or you make the alert small and you mute the sound effect, but it still pops up on screen, and you might just give a generic like, thank you all so much for supporting the stream today, it really means a lot to me, instead of like, wow, regular number 1, $5, I can't believe you tipped $5, and then regular 2 is like, well, I tipped $6, and they're like, $6, oh my gosh, y'all are so crazy, ha ha ha. Like it's all a show at that point. It's all it's a whole dance that's happening. So Inyaman, have a wonderful night. Thank you for the good questions. So if you don't want to participate in it, and I'm sure a lot of people are like, send them my way, right? You know what I mean? But yes, it can derail the content, and it also can get uncomfortable. And I've experienced this to a certain extent. I think I don't know, man, maybe I don't know. I don't have people that are just like anymore, but it can be uncomfortable, because in a weird way, it almost makes me feel like objectified in and of itself, right? What I would do if that was happening too much, and I was starting to get uncomfortable by it, and I was like, there's an intention here, and I can feel it, and I know what you're trying to do, and I'm not playing this game with you. I would take the alert box I would quietly do this on stream while I was just continuing about my business. And I would make the alert box smaller. I'd push it into the corner. I'd right click and mute the sound effect, or however you do that. And then I would stop responding to it out loud. And every, you know, maybe 2 or 3 donations, I'd be like, this has just been such a crazy stream. I can't believe how supportive my community is. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for supporting my content. And I would do that like every couple of donations. What if I donated hundreds of dollars? Because I heme so often. Brennan, I can't believe you're here on youtube.com shit posting. But I would stop giving them individualized personal attention about it. And I would remove the reward, and the reward is the reaction and the alert. I would remove the reward a little bit. I'd mute it. I'd minimize it. And I would stop individualizing it. I would start being like, wow, I'm just so grateful for such a supportive community. Because at that point, there's no more war. It's y'all together as a community are so supportive, right? That might be how I would approach that situation. And I would not reply to DMs from them. I would ghost them flat, period. I would not reply to them. Okay. Next we have from Remy, who I don't think is someone I know in real life because I didn't see it in chat. I don't know very many people named Remy. It's a very unique name. So I was like, okay, how do you go about, don't got it. All right. How do you go about protecting yourself online? I don't want to play weird games with people for money either. That's not what I'm about. youtube.com. I'm gonna have another chocolate. Anybody having snacks right now, or food or dinner? Let's talk about food for 2 seconds. Mostly because I wanted to eat a pretzel. Thank you, Panthera. You just had Popeyes. They're finally building a Popeyes in my area. I've never had Popeyes. So I'm going to try it. But I don't know when it's going to be built. It might be another half a year. Look at it all. So many snacks. Grapes and kiwi, cookies, snacks. Me. Rogue Nerd is the snack. Gracious Hazelnut. I love your name. Peanut snacks. Chicken stir fry Raven. That sounds so good. I just love stir fry. Bok choy sounds great too, though. Spectra, yum. Mars is here. Hi, Mars Manson. Homemade soup. Everybody's been having stew and soup lately. I'm feeling jealous. Hibachi. Just drinking water. I have I have to take my time to buy groceries. Dakota. Water mood. I've got water and pretzels. So root vegetable mash and green tea. Healthiest I've eaten in a week, and your body is thanking you. Wow. I need to do that because I'm just like a fast food, junk food, and my body is a wonderland, except the opposite of a wonderland. Flamin' hot Watsits. I've never heard of these. The chicken sandwich. Okay, Olive Fairy, we'll see you soon. I see your question is 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we got 5 questions away. I'm going to try to move a little bit quicker through questions. So I'd still say a good like 30 minutes or so. All right, my caption stopped working, so that's cool. Let's F5 over here. Now my screen's broken. I don't know why it's been doing this lately. Oh my God, why? It's just started flashing. All the time. Okay, there we go. All right, back to the questions. So this question is from Remy, and it says, how do you go about protecting yourself online? Are there any measures you have taken? Yes, I am very, very careful. This is what I would recommend for most people. I'm very careful with doxing my location. Some people don't mind saying the city that they live in. If you live in a really large city, I could see that being okay, like a Chicago or an Atlanta or something like that. I live in a town that has a population of less than 2,000. And the town I work in, when I worked at a coffee shop, there's only one coffee shop in the US with that name. very easy to find me if you have that type of information. So I have protected, I don't say the name of the places that I work at. I don't say the name of the grocery stores that are local to this area. I understand which of my grocery stores and fast food chains are regional and local to this area so that I don't dox myself. This depends on what kind of content creator you are. Sometimes people are going to be like food reviewers, and so they're going to review restaurants, and there's like, but I don't know. I would be mindful of things that would give away your location. I would not update your location on Instagram or tag your location. Maybe if you want to, like, I went on this vacation 2 weeks ago and I'm not even in that area anymore, or I ate at this restaurant last week. Like, don't update people and say, I'm going to be going to XYZ grocery store later tonight to grocery shop, and then I'll stream later, because that's just general, what you never know what kind of creep could be trying to, like, you know, do whatever nefarious things creeps do. So protecting my location has been very important to me. I've protected my legal name. I don't really know why, but I just have. It's there. Because if you search my legal name, nothing about me comes up. Nothing at all, because I've never used my legal name on the internet. But if you search my name that I go by online, almost everything comes up. So I'm almost safer. But that's the point, right? That's the point. When you search for my real name online, you can't find me. So people that I meet in real life, or if like you can't even, none of that information, right? I'm separating the internet persona from the legal, government sanctioned, serial numbered version of myself. Those are separate. Yeah, to backtrack to location, I'll say I live in North Carolina. I say that I live in the mountain ranges of North Carolina. And I will get I'll say I live outside of a larger city. I'll say what kind of big city I live near, but I don't give any information that would help isolate it any further than that. I'll say the Appalachian Mountains of the East Coast of the United States. Like I say regional things, large regional, and some people don't even want to say that. So it's up to you. I'm comfortable with that, because I'm like, good luck. Hunt me down in these mountains. Like, good luck. Location, Earth. How do you protect your legal name? You don't attach it to your brand. I don't use my last name. I've never said my last name. I think maybe like one or two of my internet friends might know what my last name is. I don't ever use my last name. It's not part, like some of my like Amazon or whatever, like I'll sign up with my name, but when it's through like Twitch, I don't use my real name. Even when there's some things where it's like I sign up with my like pseudonym, and it's like, oh, I probably should have put my legal name here. Like I probably should have, but whatever, I'm just gonna sign up. Like there's like I get shipments from Etsy and they go to my pseudonym. I don't use my legal name there either, because I'll buy from other content creators sometimes. Yeah, I use a pseudonym. Some people, though, some people go by their legal name. Like there's some people that are like Sarah Marie Johnson, YouTube vlog lifestyle. So everybody has different boundaries. I have a boundary about my legal name. I have a boundary about my location and my address. And I have a boundary about my family. My sister is comfortable coming on stream with me. So I'm comfortable saying her name and talking about her and having her here and discussing her when it's appropriate and relevant, but not my brother, not my mom, not my dad, or any of my other family members. They're not comfortable. They're fairly private people, so I respect that privacy, and I expect that boundary to be, I don't necessarily like real life friends of mine mentioning my brother's name, because my brother doesn't even put that information about himself online. So I protect those same boundaries for them, and I respect and value their privacy and treasure and guard it the same way that I do with my own. And in a selfish reflection of that, if somebody were to have my brother's name or my father's name, they would probably be able to locate me, right? So that is the boundary that I've taken to protect myself, my location. I'm afraid of scary people, and I think that we should all have a healthy fear of I don't want to fear monger, but I think we should all have a healthy fear of random people on the internet that have nefarious purposes and dark intentions. I think that is something we should all protect. I think our IP should be protected to a certain degree. This is where stuff like, what are they called? NordVPN. A VPN would come into play. Another thing to do to like protect yourself online, besides just my location and finding me in the real world, is clicking on links from people, which can be used to, I don't know, I'm not really that tech savvy, but I know that your computer can get hacked. They can get into your webcam. They can keylog you, so they can figure out your passwords. They have a program that can track every stroke that's put into the keyboard. So don't click on links from people that you don't trust. These are kind of generic internet safety tips, but they're especially as streamers, or people that are in the public eye, content creators, we're bigger targets because we put ourselves out there more. So let me think. I have been doxxed before on my channel. It was my first year of streaming, so this could be a different conversation too, doxing and harassing and stuff like that. But I was doxxed by someone who was following me they were making accounts rapidly with my full legal name and my phone number and my address. It was luckily an address that I had moved away from a year prior, so I wasn't living at that address anymore. And they were calling me on my phone while I was streaming. So that happened at one point, and I had to like go into lockdown, and like, because it was a Yahoo leak, and I haven't even used Yahoo in like 8 years, but it was a Yahoo leak. And for some reason that person was bored enough to track my email address down to find that I was streaming and come into my live stream. Like that, some next level boredom is all I gotta say, because nothing ever came from it. I was really worried about getting not doxxed, yes, doxxed, but swatted. I have a big fear of swatting, and it's mostly because I am scared of the police, but it's also because I have an elderly father who has a weak heart and has heart attacks recently. I worry about my family. I care about my family. I worry about my family. I don't want the police to come kick down the door, our big ass boxer dog to come running out. They shoot the dog. My dad's having a heart attack because what's happening? And then I don't want that. That scares me, right? That's a spiral fear that I have. So I do everything I can to protect that information so that reality cannot happen, right? Though there's a peek into my horror brain. I'm sorry, but when I say my brain spirals, I mean it spirals. I feel very strongly about protecting that. So I would encourage y'all to, because I have several streamer friends who have been swatted, and they're not even big streamers. Like, I have streamer friends who have been doxxed and all of this kind of stuff. Once their address gets out there and the police have come, kick their door down, kind of thing. Like, so I don't fuck with that. So, and kidnapping and sex trafficking, and I'm not going to go too far into those subjects, but those are things that I think, especially femme presenting and AFAB streamers, women streamers, we should be very protective of ourselves in relation to that. So I highly encourage you to protect everything about your location, your real name, and all of that stuff, your family, all of that stuff, your work, where you work, all of that. And clicking on links could give somebody access. Panthera, we're definitely gonna have to close the question queue. Clicking on links could give someone access to that information. They could give someone access to your webcam. They can see whatever the webcam can see. So be mindful of that. And I would even recommend I cover my webcam up when I'm not using it. I'll put a cloth over it. There's covers you can get for it. I used to unplug it and take it out. I'm not like hyper paranoid. This might sound like I'm a very paranoid. Maybe I am. I'm not super duper. Like, I don't always cover, you know what I mean? Like, I take precautions, but I'm not like all the time like, oh, I'm not like and I don't want you to be either. But I would take the necessary precautions. I would, especially if you're going to start expanding on the internet. Okay. That's what I would say there. All right. So next question is from Timu. I hope I'm saying this right. Timu Polkinen says, Yeah, it was a great question, Remy. Thank you so much. So Timu says, can I ask advice for practicing self-expression? If I'm affected by the realization that no one is watching, I start to have trouble finding words and being entertaining. Yes, some cameras have built-in covers like Rachela. What a cool name. Can I ask for practicing can I ask advice for practicing self-expression? I keep my Streamlabs is in front of me. I'm watching my face right now. Narcissism. I'm sorry. But I'm watching my face. I see how expressive I look, and I strive to make myself look more expressive, right? It's a bit of drama. It's a bit of theater, performing. The more like expressive we are, the more people in chat can connect with it. The expressive faces are a good thing online, and this can even be proven with science and stuff of like click rates on thumbnails and all of this kind of stuff. So Rochelle, okay, I tried, I'm sorry. Like Raquela. Okay, so I would just practice. I'd watch your face and I'd practice your expressions. I watch my face a lot. Really sounds narcissistic. Definitely there's narcissism in content creators. It's just kind of part of the job. But it helps. This is the same thing like when people tell you to watch your VODs, watch your streams back. Ask yourself questions. Am I talking enough? Am I too quiet? Why is this not funny? Do I feel bored watching my own content? Does my microphone sound good? Reflect on your own content. It will help you improve and become a better entertainer. So I do, and I think over time, even if you're not watching yourself you don't have to be live doing this. You could literally just open this up and say, for 15 minutes today, I'm going to tell a story, talk about my day, or I'll take a book and I'll read the book, but I'm going to this is like practice acting or like practice performing. This is practice. This is what I would say. You're saying, can I ask for advice in practicing it though? I would do it offline. So you're saying if you worry that no one is watching you, you have trouble finding the words and being entertaining. So this is the pressure of people watching. So do this when there's nobody watching at all, so that you can get comfortable doing it kind of naturally, without the expectation of someone watching in the audience. And you're also going to have to stop thinking about that. This is where I'll come back to my probably boring advice that you're sick of hearing from me at this point. But think about your streams as a live recording of video content you will be using on other platforms at a later time. It's not necessarily about the audience that's there in the moment. It is about what piece of content you will have to work with. What is the piece of clay that you're going to be left with, or the artwork that you've molded out of the clay that you can then take and work with after the stream is over. So if you are someone who is streaming and you only do stuff when someone is there, your chat is the entertainment, not you. I'm gonna eat chocolate after that one. Practicing in a mirror would definitely help too. Try to entertain yourself as practice when no one's there. A lot of small streamers, hi Geekish Senpai. A lot of small streamers rely on their chat. I've talked about this in another video. What is it called? I think it's like advice for people with 0 viewers or something like that. People with 0 viewers. I should have named it something different because I actually think the topic is totally different. But it is specifically to help people cope. Yeah, it's how to cope with 0 viewers. That's what it's called. And I talk about how I've noticed throughout my growth online and the different viewerships that I've had, because the same as my weight, it's fluctuated. When I have 0 to 5 viewers, 0 to 10 viewers, let's start smaller. 0 viewers. When I have no viewers, nobody's in chat. Chat is dead. No one's talking. I am fully dependent upon myself to create the content. I don't have chat to bounce off of. I don't have y'all's wonderful questions to give me fuel. I'm fully in my own zone. And that's how I started tonight's stream. I didn't have anyone in chat. Like, I think there was like 1 or 2 of y'all, right? And I immediately just started being like, I'm going to talk about boundaries today. And this is how, like, self-love and why I need to set, like, I came into it with an intention and a mindset. So I had something to say for the first 15, 20 minutes that nobody was here. And that's what it's like as a small streamer with 5 to 25 average viewers or so, is you usually have to wait about 10-ish minutes before your chat starts to populate. So you need something to do for that first 10 minutes before you, like, fully, you know, before the chat's there to save you from yourself or whatever. Someone with 0 viewers doesn't have that. They have to be fully dependent on themselves, and they have to narrate their inner monologue and talk to themselves as if no one is there, because nobody is there. They have to do that. Streamers that are between 2, 3 viewers and at least 1 person chatting, we're looking for an active chat is the more important thing than just the viewership. But typically around the voice is going, around the 5 to 15, 5 to 20 viewer mark, you start to be able to just banter with the chat and just sit there and be fully engaged. Even upwards of 50, 60, 70 viewers, depending on how engaged and talkative the chat is. Though that is kind of a volume where you can fully depend on the chat. I would even honestly, yeah. So if we're talking about depending on the chat for your content, depending on the chat and being able to sit and just talk to your chat and not have to worry about having your own monologue or inner monologue or things to say. Wow, my brain went dead. Come back. You got it. I believe in you. Okay. People with the up to 100 viewers or so, and a little bit beyond that. But once we start to get to the 150, 300 viewer mark, etc., where chat is starting to like roll by too fast for you to keep up with, you have to stop. Like, you know, oh my God, how annoying is it? Maybe this is something streamers need to hear. How annoying is it though to hear, and I even said it tonight in tonight's stream, oh my God, I can't read everything in chat. I'm so sorry. And then they stop and they're like looking at chat and they're like, oh, so-and-so said, hi, hello. So-and-so said, what are you? Oh, you like my necklace? Thank you. Like, that's not fun to watch. Is it really? Like, it's not. Drop it, quit being addicted and hooked on that chat and look away and flow. Create the content, do the monologue. That's what they're there to see. Don't get obsessed with like seeing, I gotta respond. I know there's a guilt. I know that there's a pressure. I know that sometimes viewers can repost or say, I've had people just get upset with me in chat because why didn't you respond to me? Maybe they don't say that verbatim, but there's an implication of that. There's a, you know, this kind of thing. The chat might make you feel guilty for not replying to something they said, or not responding, or not reading what they said out loud, or whatever. Yeah, tough love for small streamers would be very relevant now too. A backup plan if stream fails. Scripted. Yeah, you don't have to script your streams at all, but having like bullet points. Is this it? Yeah, look at this. I had this ready to go. Wait, let me make sure I'm not doxing myself. No, I think that's fine. This is the notes that I made for myself. It says what to talk about in Get Ready With Me. I know my green screen's acting up. What to talk about in my Get Ready With Me. Burnout, depression, sponsorships, community growth and drama, art block, pressure, rearranging my room, releasing my planner, exciting projects, chatty Q&A, Wednesday night Q&A, and then I'll be making graphic design and overlay tutorials, so let me know your requests. I didn't say that. But I had it over to the side of me and I just set it down there, and then I would talk. I would let myself just ramble and ramble and ramble. And then if I got to a point where I was like, oh yeah, let me talk about art block. Yeah, art block. I had this as it's like a cheat sheet you could do for yourself. And maybe you could do this before your stream, like give yourself, these are little 1 words. I didn't script it. This isn't scripted. but I have like little like, oh yeah, let me talk about depression. Let me talk about how my depression's been going. Yeah, maybe I should, I do have an exciting project. That's right. Let me tell them about my exciting project, right? I have like I don't do this for streams usually because I just kind of flow with chat. But I usually do this for YouTube videos. And some YouTube videos I do script down to the word. Not every single word, but I do script some of my videos. But a cheat sheet for the more free flow, the chatty get ready with me, the live streams. So, okay. All right, we're going to move on. Rochelle says, maybe it's too basic. Nope, it's not here. Maybe it's too basic, but a moderation basics video. Oh, this is a suggestion. A moderation basics video would be interesting. I could do that. I think that's good, and that's one that I could probably do easily. And easily is good because I have a lot of like high brain effort, and this is like, okay. So whenever I do tutorials for y'all that are like how to add a starting scene screen, how to do an alert, those are easy, right? That's like, okay, I can, how to get this bot installed, how to do this, how to open a Discord. Like those are easy, but the more nuanced ones that I want to research, like how to establish boundaries with family members, that's a big one that I want to carefully research. I want to prepare, edit nicely. Okay. So our next question is from Rogue Nerd. It says, what are the classic pitfalls you can fall into by modding the wrong people? Oh, ooh, that's a big one. Classic pitfalls of modding the wrong people. Your moderators are a direct reflection of you. Anything your moderator says is an extension of you. You are responsible for what they say. You have given them power. So classic pitfalls is you have a moderator that says something hateful in chat, hate speech, something like that, and then your community is like, whoa, you mod this, you approve of this. So that's one. That's kind of a, make sure, don't mod people too quickly. Just because someone's watching your channel every day, all the time, they're in your Discord, doesn't mean they need to be modded. You need to mod people after a long period of time when you know that they respect your boundaries. Period. That's very important with mods. The biggest issue I deal with is mods that become possessive of me, feel like they own me. I've become friends with my mods. So this is also something that I'm in my own head about right now and trying to figure out how I need to behave going forward. I don't think it's necessarily a problem to become friends with your mods at all. Panthera in chat, Lumpy in chat, right? Like, I don't think it's necessarily a problem. But I could see this, the times this has become a problem for me is when they are toxic friendships and that person affects my career because of their toxicity. And this would look like ownership. This would look like I didn't go all into detail about what this person did, but the mod that I talked about in my Get Ready With Me video earlier this week, they were a moderator, and I said they publicly shamed me for smoking cigarettes. And what that looked like as far as a content creator is they went into my Discord server, they added everyone in the server, which if y'all are familiar with Discord, that sucks. It's a ping to everyone in your server, a notification. The way I explain this to people who don't use Discord is it would be the equivalent of someone going in my cell phone and mass texting every phone number in my phone. Like, how embarrassing is that? My coworker, my mom, my best friend, the person from high school whose number I never deleted, everyone in my Discord server, at everyone. Should Shady be smoking cigarettes? Yes or no? React with this emoji. That's what I mean. And it was more than that. It was a paragraph. It was shaming me. And then it followed up with vote whether she should smoke cigarettes or not. That is the pitfall of modding the wrong person. That type of bullshit. What the fuck? Yeah, the Discord server, Panthera could probably post in chat if she doesn't mind. We'll be in the Offbeats Discord server. So, that's I don't even know that that's an extreme example. Ownership over you, abusing you. I've had some mods that like get to where they think that they can just like berate me or insult me or like make fun of me or something. Like they get like too comfortable, I guess. I don't know. What else? Modding the wrong person. Okay, this is a different direction to go in, but they get ban happy. They chase your chat away. I had a mod that would they didn't like someone, so they would just ban them. They didn't like them. They didn't do anything wrong, and I liked them just fine. But I look over and I see they're banned, and it's because they didn't like them. And that again is just, and it wasn't even when I'm like, why did you ban them? They're like, I don't know, they were stupid. Something like that. This was really early on in streaming for me. This was one of my first like 1 or 2 mods. Trying to control your content, yeah. Trying to control you, trying to tell you what to stream, trying to banning people or chasing people away in your chat. I had one time, and this was well intentioned, but I had moderated a couple of my friends to help me with a particularly busy stream that I knew I might have to deal with trolls in. And they sort of had a contest with each other of how many people can we ban? Let's see who can ban the most people. And they, to the point where they were banning people that shouldn't have been banned, because they were just competing with each other. And it was well intentioned. But that creates a really bad, feeling in my channel. People are scared to say anything. You know what I mean? So, oh, hi, Disruptive Girl. So I think it's mods more than anything. Let's see, modding the wrong people. I'm trying to think of another direction I could take this in. I think it's the parasocial ownership that's the biggest one that I've always had to struggle with. So maybe other people have different experiences, because that could just have to do with me not being able to set boundaries very well with people. Another issue is having too many mods, and mods that don't do anything, or they never come to your stream, and then you can't unmod them because they get really pissed off and take it personally. Sarah, have a good night. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for the membership subscription. That's really cool of you. We should hang out soon though, if you want to. A lot of mods who got really unwelcoming and didn't want the community to change or have new people come in. That's another really common thing is, this happens a lot with growing content creators. Once you start to reach a certain point, this is a possessiveness issue. They want you all to themselves. They don't want more people. They don't want you to change. They don't want you to become partner and have 500 viewers, because then they don't get you to themselves anymore. And wow, you really changed. This is a whole other topic too. That I kind of want to deep dive in, because I think this is about having a small mindset, keeping yourself small because other people want you to be small. There's a whole, I kind of want to do this is something that I've actually been like going through in my head recently. Part of my stepping away from live content has been that boundary struggle. Yes, I will try the off-topic chat in my next stream. You don't have to give exact details about your daily life, but treat it like talking to coworkers. Chat had the most delicious burger at Five Guys today. Oh, that's interesting too. Yeah. This is something I think would be interesting to implement. I like to make people feel personally seen, which is why I'm always like, oh, hi, Disruptive Girl. Hi, Rogue Nerd. Hi, Dildo Gaggins. Sorry, your name always kills me. I try to make people feel personally seen, but this is also probably a contributing factor to my boundaries, not setting my boundaries well enough, and then them getting stepped over a lot, because people do think they're my friends, and some of those names that I listed are wonderful like that. But that's the thing, is like I do have some people I'm friends with, and I have some people I'm not friends with, and I said this earlier, but streamers aren't your friends. They don't have to be. Maybe Twinkie's right, but I just got done editing a video about this subject. Which subject? Okay, my brain is starting to struggle. I think that I've probably a little bit past my limit for this Q&A, to be honest. We have a couple more questions, so I think I'm going to kind of like jump through them a little bit more quickly. So a moderation basics video, I'll add that to my list. Classic pitfalls, I think classic pitfalls you can run into by not modding the right people, or like, Are we talking about like not modding the right people? Like not modding the right people, modding the wrong, okay, maybe I took in the wrong direction. I'm sorry. But the next one, let's go to the next question. So this is Olive Fairy, who I'm not sure. Oh, there is Olive. Oh my gosh. Perfect timing, Olive Fairy. Olive Fairy has a question that says, when you're just starting out online, how do you distinguish what is and isn't worth sharing? How do you decide what level of anonymity you want? That's a very good question. And I think it's something that will change over time. When I first started making content online, I was posting like, this is a very specific example. Okay, no, I'm not going to use it. It's too far. Let's think. I think it's going to be based on how people react and how it makes you feel. That is the first answer I would want to say, is how does it make you feel when people are responding to it? Do you feel invaded? Do you feel, you know, like me sharing my weight loss struggle, there were a couple of interactions I received after that where I was like, oh, do I really want to publicize this? Do I really want anybody to be able to comment on this? Like I had that reflection to myself when I started sharing that. Ultimately, I think I'm still comfortable going forward with it, but it's just the personal nature of it and how, like, health struggles and stuff in general, or your living situation. Like some people probably, like I live with my family and I'm not ashamed to say that, but some people I know that carry shame with that as an adult. So wouldn't want people to know what their living situation is. And maybe it's not even about living with your family. They don't want them to know that they live in a rundown apartment, or that they live in a really rich house. They don't want them to know anything about their lifestyle at all. So you won't know sometimes until you post it and you get a reaction. And then you get the reaction and you're like, ew, no, I don't, never mind. And then you delete it and don't post it again. It's a big learning process in the beginning. And I would err on the side of caution, I want to say, but I also feel like you should take some risks. Over time, like I would go through my, like, Instagram is the best one I can come up with because it's a clear archive. My Twitch VODs usually go away, they fade away, they get deleted. There's some old clips that I've gone through and kind of purged because I'm like, oh God, I was just drunk on stream. And I used to be comfortable with that, and now I'm totally not. And it's the same thing with like the way that I used to take pictures of my room. I was still am in a lot of ways, but like, okay, maybe this is a good example. I have a video up that's called, like day in the life of a witchy streamer. And I show how dirty my desk is. Like I show, because I was in an artistic grind and I just had like 8 cups around me and I was like trash because I'm just sitting here and I'm, you know, truly a heathen. I'm just like gathering trash as I'm doing a 3-4 day work binge. And I'm like, this is what I have to do before I can go live today. I have to clean this up. So this is part of my routine right now. And as a result, I've had people who just kind of assume that I'm always that messy. And I used to be when I was younger, for sure. But now I'm not. It gets to that point sometimes when I'm really lacking in self-care and I'm really focused on a task, a long project that takes a couple of days. But I'm not like that most of the time. Most of the time I clean daily. I take everything out. Usually sometimes twice a day. Like I'm pretty, because I live in such a small space, I'm pretty meticulous about it now. But I now have people in my community that think that I'm kind of getting roasted for that. Now, 3 or 4 years ago, even probably longer, 4 or 5 years ago, when I would take selfies of myself in the mirror, my floor was just covered in shit. I don't mean like literal shit. I mean like clothes and trash and books and everything, like just stuff everywhere. I was struggling greatly, and I've always been a messy person. And over time I have become so much better at them. So it's one of the things that I've like really, really am like so proud of myself about, because I've always struggled with it. And I'm so good. I feel so proud of myself now, to the point where the friends that I'm making now think I'm a neat freak. Like they think that I like I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, my room's messy, when they come over and they're like, this is messy. And I used to have those friends that were like, oh, sorry, it's messy. And I'm like, it's a soda can and a shoe out of place. You think this is messy? Like your bed isn't made. That's it. Like, because I was used to living in, right. Okay. Why am I going off on this tangent? I'm trying to establish the way that I've changed in 5 years or whatever. And what I used to be comfortable with was posting a selfie of me where the mirror was reflecting my clearly just awfully messy room, like just embarrassingly messy room. And I didn't even care. I didn't think twice about it. I was like, whatever, like, and I would post that. And then now, I make sure that if I'm going live, I'll push all the trash out of the view of the camera if I need to, or I'll clean. Like tonight was a night, because I've been on a 2-day work binge for the past 2 days. And so today, before I went live here, I had to get all of the cups and soda cans out of my room. Everything, my desk had to be cleared. And now I'm not, so now when I would look at my Instagram pictures and I would see that my room used to look like that, or like that I'm like, I need to delete this because I'm not comfortable with this anymore. I don't want people to see me like this. Because I've changed, I've grown, I've evolved, and I was always kind of embarrassed, right? Am I making sense? Does this, have I gone off on a weird tangent that's not relevant? I'm trying to illustrate the ways that I've changed in my personal life and what I used to be comfortable with and what I'm no longer comfortable with. And I only realized that I was uncomfortable with it when people were commenting on it because I had shared it in the first place. That is what I'm trying to illustrate with this story. And this could be any variety of things. Clear desk, what's that? It could be any variety of things. For me, my room being clean has been one of them, because it used to be a meme in my channel of how messy my room was. So how do you distinguish what is and isn't worth sharing? This can also, besides just like lifestyle things that you might like, oh, I'm embarrassed of, or I don't want people to see this about me. It could be like, is it worth sharing my food? Is it worth sharing my hobby? Is it worth sharing my cat picture? Or like that, if it's not stuff, there's no telling. Maybe you'll get down the line and you're like, oh, I never should have shown people that my hobby was roller skating, because now I'm embarrassed of my body being on camera or something. You never know when this stuff's going to change. So all I can say is to start posting and make sure you're in your comfort zone, or in your boundaries, I should say, because sometimes stepping out of your comfort zone is healthy. Like me sharing my weight loss journey was a healthy step for me. I feel like that's part of my growth with that. But who knows? I took a risk. I took a gamble, and I made myself vulnerable to see how it felt. And when I posted it, I felt like it was the right decision. I felt good about it. I felt, this is me encouraging intuition checks. Again, checking in with yourself, asking yourself, listening to yourself. How do I feel? How do I feel when a notification goes off after I posted that salacious tweet? Oh, it's a twinge of anxiety. Should I have posted that then? If my notifications are suddenly making me stressed out, but I posted a picture of Toasty, my cat, and I'm not even sweating the notifications. I don't even think about it. Like, it's whatever. Everybody's going to love Toasty, right? I'm not worried about that. But I post some like dumb shit that I'm like, tomorrow I'm going to be like, God damn it, why did I post that? You know what I mean? Like that, I'm checking in with myself. And then I learn, okay, I'm not going to comment on dumbass streamer drama on Twitter anymore because I can't stand it. I'm not going to engage in the booby streamer debate on Twitter anymore because it gives me anxiety and stresses me out. Not much longer, Vincent. I'm really starting to wear down. Okay. You have such an interesting community, Alpin. I would love to just chat with you because it sounds I've really got a lot of questions for you. You shouldn't be afraid to be honest about your relationship. And if you are, then you don't have the right audience. I've gone through this. This is the first couple of years. Like I said, I had people making a lot of sexual comments about me and objectifying me. And then having a boyfriend would mean that I'm no longer the e-girl that they were fantasizing after, right? I just had to flush the trash. Not flush the trash, flush the shit. I had to throw the trash out. Like I lost This is part of the reason why I've been streaming for so long and I have so many followers on Twitch, but I'm still not partner, is a good couple thousand of those followers were from my first year or two on Twitch, where I was doing Outlast, Dark Souls, Overwatch, content that generated a male audience, and I was drinking on stream all the time. I was cleavage out all the time. Like it created a very different audience than my like uwu cozy Animal Crossing, let's talk about our feelings, where I'm honest about, and I say the word period out loud. I talk about my boyfriend. Like I'm no longer like, you know, feisty drunken e-girl which was fun when I was enjoying it. I have lots of friends that are feisty drunken e-girls. I'm not disparaging it whatsoever, but I changed and my audience became a villain to me, and I just had to stop cold turkey, full stop, and then come back a different person, fully rebranded as far as the content creation was going. And I had to accept that I went from my viewership and I lost like 90% of my viewership. But I started over from scratch, and now I've built an audience that I feel respected by and I respect. And I feel safe and comfortable being honest and real, and don't feel worried that if I stand up from my computer, someone's going to sexually harass me because I did it. Like because I made that plunge. So Candy's like, I heard drunken e-girl. But yeah, okay. I fully support people being the drunken e-girls. That's who I was for all of my 20s. And I've changed is all I can say. And some people don't. I didn't need to change. I'm not trying to insinuate that it's bad to be that way. I'm saying that I just changed. I became different. I wanted different things, and that is totally fine too. So I do not want to create a space where it sounds like a drunken e-girl is a problem, and people that have audiences like that are a problem, or viewership like that. And it worked for a while. Like there was a symbioticness there because of probably to do with me getting out of a relationship and the wanting the attention in some way. And this is just my own personal journey. No one else's that is in this position. But so I was willing to entertain the attention, and then I started to get into a relationship, and I started to think different things. And then I didn't want that attention anymore because I was getting it from the person I wanted to get it from. Like that shift was definitely a thing. And if I was scared to say the word boyfriend out loud, then that meant that my chat was holding me hostage, right? Break the chains. You create the content, not the other way around. We cannot let our audiences control us, period. That's the boundary. Okay. Breathe in water. Wow. Thank you. Not the crazy hair. Okay. Yeah, no, like Olive Fairy is saying here too, nobody is entitled. That's true. I should also mention this. I want you to be free, Alpin, to say that you're in a relationship if you want to. But like Olive Fairy is saying here, nobody is entitled to know if you're in a relationship. And some people don't want to put their I didn't for the first 2 years in the relationship. I didn't want to bring it to the internet. I didn't want people commenting on it. I didn't want the pressure. It was already a new relationship. We're already trying to figure out, how are we feeling? Do we like it? Is this going to be forever? You know, we're already trying to figure that out. I don't want the added pressure of public commentary or people analyzing how we interact with each other, or that kind of added pressure, and stuff like that. So it's valid to protect that information too, the same way I protect my family and my location. Some people protect their relationships too, and that's worth checking with your partner. Are they comfortable being in the public eye as well? So yeah, okay. I had been advised from a big streamer to not disclose your relationship status, but then I met Base Fairy, and she made me see that you can have a supportive audience and talk about it. I think that the suggestion to not mention the relationship was kind of encouraging a rapid monetization of your content, because if you are the available e-girl, there's a paying audience that will rapid fire over it. That's probably where that came from, but I think that's really backwards. personally, but it also depends on your intention. Like, are you coming, for me, I come online and I create content. I create Hey Shady Lady. I create this brand long term to share my life, honestly, to create content around my life. I want to do this for a long time. I'm not just in this to make money. Having this pay my bills and give me a lifestyle so I can do it more is the sweet spot for me. So if you're coming into this and you just want to do this for 2 years, make your bag and get out, this is a different story. That's a different conversation entirely. All right. So there's multiple ways that you can be approaching this content creation career. I want to be here for a long time, and I like to scrapbook my life on the internet, and I want to inspire people while I'm doing it. That is my intention. If your intention is to make enough money to retire at 30, do what you got to do. You know what I mean? Like, okay. Alexion has a question that says, how can I keep my audience entertained with other content when I'm not able to stream? Asking for a friend. Are you asking for a friend? Okay. Plus, your young 20s. It's usually expected. Grayfield, yeah. So I was definitely having fun. Let me retire right now. Honestly, mood. But even if I retire, I'm still going to be like, here's my chickens. Here's my YouTube video talking about how I brush my goat. Okay. So here's the question from Alexion. How can I keep my audience entertained with other content when I'm not able to stream? Asking for a friend. Do you mean on other platforms? We kind of touched on this a little bit earlier. Do you mean like, is Elle still here? I'm going to tag her if she's not here because I'll have her look at this later. But we talked about this earlier, so I might repeat a little bit here. But I would recommend, anyway, I would recommend, especially for you, Alexion. So I am speaking directly to you, but hopefully other people can vibe with this too. But choose to go live once a week or twice a month, or you can't stream at all with your Wi-Fi. So no more streaming for you. Get in contact with that ISP, whatever. Start figuring that out with them. Unless you just want to be like, streaming's not meant to be. That's for you to decide. But that's the first thing is I would start sussing out. I would be like, all right, we need internet. Why is my internet not working? This is my job. This is my career. You got to bully them. Internet service providers suck sometimes. You got to bully them. Second, moving past that, say your internet is working, but you're still, and I've known you for a while, so I would say that you're someone who's probably not going to be a daily streamer, right? I would recommend you go live once a week or twice a week. I'm a doctor prescribing you streaming times, right? Once or twice a week. I think that this will give you the opportunity to recharge your energy. You won't have to, you're someone who does a lot for your appearance. You do a ton, like I do, a big full makeup look. So if you're someone who goes in full production mode, like makeup, hair, costume, curtains kind of thing, stream less often. Stream once or twice a week, once or twice a month, and put a lot of energy into it and promote the hell out of it. Make it a special event. Have some kind of, the first hour I'll do a catch up. How's everyone doing? I'm going to say hi to chat. What are y'all doing? Here's how I've been. And then by the second hour, I've got 3 story times. Because there's these 3 things that have happened to me in the last week that I got to tell them about. Or there's these 3 things in this last month. Like I got to tell them about that weird guy that was picking his nose in traffic the other day. Or I got to tell them about this cute dog that I almost adopted. Like I've got these, this is your little checklist, right? This is when you're streaming in a smaller scale. And I'll get to what you do after that. But make well-planned seldom streams. So I stream once or twice a month or once a week, and I have a plan going into this to put on a great show. Or you could kick it back and take it easy. It doesn't have to be that deep. But I would say that if I was in that position where I can only stream once a week, I'm going to make sure that I got a costume picked out. I've got a formula or a schedule. Like let's do an hour of this game. Maybe at like the third hour, I have a friend come on and we do a birth chart, like roast, because I've been doing the tarot and birth chart stuff, maybe I have like a structure to follow. And the reason that I'm going to structure it or like have a plan in mind is because I'm only streaming once or twice a month, right? I'm only streaming a couple of times. So I only have those 2 opportunities to create that content, live form content. And then during the off time, like I still have like this other time throughout the week. I'm only streaming on Sundays. I have the rest of the week to take that VOD and edit it down and take out the 20-minute story time about the cute dog I almost adopted. That's a YouTube video on Tuesday. I can take this clip where someone said this thing in chat and it made me laugh so hard I snorted water out of my nose. I'm going to clip that. I'm going to put it on Twitter or TikTok or whatever. Like, this is where it's make content out of the material you generated. Now you're talking about maybe try streaming on your phone. That could work for you, Alexion. Another thing, if you can't stream at all, if streaming is not an option, you're not going to be a streamer. That's okay. You don't have to be. You can be a YouTuber. So Alexion, take the content that you do or whoever. So Alexion frequently streams tarot, but I think you also have a lot of other interests besides that. But make a YouTube video that's a 20-minute weekly vlog update. I'm going to check it, edit the video, and just, make it, don't over edit it if that's too much work for you, or, do a light edit, do a 20-minute ramble to the camera and just upload it raw without editing. Or you can highly edit something. You could make a reaction to a show you just watched, or anything like that. Like, find some way to create content for YouTube or for Instagram even. You can grow on any of these platforms. And this is assuming you're saying, how can you keep your audience entertained? Engage with them. Engage with them on other platforms, not Discord. Discord is only good for pre-existing audiences. If you're trying to grow your audience, you have to do it off Discord. You can't find new people on Discord. You have to do it somewhere else, and funnel people back to your Discord to banter and keep in contact with them on a daily basis, so that you can then have that set of 10, that set of 100, that set of 1,000 to show your YouTube video to when you have a YouTube video, right? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and grab this one just because I'm looking at it, from Melody, that says, I know we're done with questions. What programs do you recommend for editing? I personally use Adobe Premiere. I'm probably gonna always use Adobe, and I know Adobe is expensive. It's not accessible for everybody. There are free ones, and I'm sure somebody in chat will know the free ones. I always struggle with the names. I think DaVinci Resolve is one of them. I'm pretty sure DaVinci Resolve is a free video editing app. Does anybody in chat have any recommendations for video editing programs? That's about all I have experience with. I know there's like iMovie, I think people use on Apple products, and it works pretty well. I have it on my iPad, and I've used it, and it's not bad. I'm spoiled for Photoshop or Premiere, Adobe products. So DaVinci Resolve is getting a lot of love. Final Cut Pro, that's another one I was thinking of. We've got Lightworks over here. So there's a handful. I don't love VOD channels. Here's another question from Gracious Hazelnut. What do you think about separate VOD channels? Do you think it's beneficial so people can watch them? I don't love VOD channels. I would prefer to see from a creator like that I was following, not even as like a stream coach or whatever word, but like people that I'm following. I don't want to watch your 6-hour unedited VOD. Cut out the 3 hours where you're actually playing the video game, or cut out the 1 hour where it's like a heart to heart with the chat. Like give me now I'm not talking like a highly edited version, just like cut the meat out, like cut the fat away, like cut the fat off. That's what I would prefer to see. But I know a lot of people run VOD channels. I just don't see the value in old live streamed videos. I at the same time, like if it's just as easy for, like, it's not a big deal for you, just click the download button, go take a shower, you come back, the download's done, you go over to YouTube, you click upload, you go play a video game, you come back, you like, add me a little hashtag here, there, drop me a really clickable thumbnail, walk away. Like if it's a really simple process, then there's really no harm in it. And maybe, you know, it'll hit the algorithm or something. I feel like it's a little more beneficial to, create more mindful content for YouTube. I feel like YouTube should be like the portfolio and Twitch should be the supplementary. Like you make and this is what has worked for me at least. So maybe I'm just speaking from that experience, but having these like quality short-ish form. I know I'm pretty long-winded for YouTube, but shortish form content on YouTube, the 20-minute videos, the 10-minute videos that are like pack a punch. It's like a portfolio. It's like people get to see the best of, like, this is what I'm all about. I like to talk about anime, and then they can come hang out with me in my streams, and it's a lot more low key. And I'm not, you know, we're hanging out, and, you know, then that's the fun of like, maybe I'll get to be like featured in a new YouTube video or whatever. Like, that's kind of how I look at it. Maybe you watch creators differently. Maybe you mostly watch the VODs and you always watch the VODs. I barely do. The only time I go into someone's VOD is when I feel like something important happened or it was a, you know, first stream back kind of thing. But I don't typically watch even people that I'm friends with, even content creators that I'm subscribed to. If I don't get you live, I don't get you live. Like, that's it. Like, so maybe I'm biased. I think that I probably should say that. I'm pretty biased about this question. This is probably a networking issue, and we're focusing on boundaries tonight. We've gone like very in depth in networking on a Q&A in past. If you haven't had any new people come to your channel, you're in the wrong game. You're in an oversaturated game. You are not engaging chat when they come in. So you're, tough love for small streamers. Can we get the link for that video too? If you don't mind, Panthera, thank you. You would benefit from my video, tough love for small streamers. You've got to be more engaging, more entertaining when people come in to hook attention. You've got to be streaming in a better gaming category where you're actually going to get visibility, or a better category period. It doesn't have to be gaming. And you need to network yourself better, and you need to start promoting your content across other platforms. Boom, boom, boom. That's that very, I feel like I got that answer down to an art form at this point, but if it's people, so I see used to pull like 5 people who follow before. So if this was, I used to have viewers and now I don't have viewers, I would compare your old videos. I would look back and I would look at what you're doing now. What's different? What has changed? Did you switch games? Did you stop talking as much? Did you what did you change? And if nothing changed, then I would probably start to experiment with your content, and maybe you need to stream less hours. Maybe there's a lot of, this is experimenting now. Like, don't beat your head against the wall doing the same thing, wondering why nothing is changing. Start experimenting. Go live at a different time. Play a different game. Change the way your webcam looks. Change your lighting. Get a better microphone, or mess with your microphone settings, or attempt something new. Try new things. That's what I would say there. But okay, I think we have one more from Decoy NDA that says, what are your thoughts on setting subscriber goals for like a Discord server or tipping? I don't know if I understand this question. Subscriber goals for a Discord server? Do we still have Decoy NDA here? Yeah, don't play copyrighted music. Definitely don't. I would avoid that as much as possible. Look for royalty-free music, royalty-free playlists, stream-friendly music. There's a lot of options that are available. Decoy NDA's question. What are your thoughts on setting... This is the last question in the queue. So does anybody have any... What do y'all think this means? People, that's what I'm thinking. So like there's 2 ways my brain is like, is this like, if we hit 100 subscribers, I'll make a Discord server? Or is this, you have to be a subscriber to get into the Discord server? But then the word tipping comes in here. Have goals for set up a Discord server. So I think I'm still having trouble understanding. Or asking for tipping. So like, am I understanding correctly that it's, in order to access my Discord server, in order to join my Discord server, you have to donate X amount or subscribe to me? I think that's the question. I'll have a sip of water while I'm waiting. Look, how nice. I think that's what it is. Yeah, Jada. I don't think there's anything wrong with this. I think this is 1,000% valid. Some people want to have, so there's two paths here. One path is I'm creating a Discord server so that I can engage with my community and keep them engaged with me for my next stream. I want everyone to join, period, because I want more people to at everyone when I go live next. Like, I'm just coming to my Discord server. Come on, let's have a party. Like, or, which is valid. That's one path, right? 100 subscribers before I said, okay, let me answer it this way and then I'm going to come back to that one. Having a Discord server that is locked to subscribers only, or locked to a certain tip level, or locked to a certain monetary compensation, I think is super valid. And I think this is also part of boundary protection, because Discord servers can equal a one-way, a fast track to communicating with you. And it's like a requirement for you to interact or watch movies or jump in voice chat or whatever it is. So if people want to protect the Discord server, that intimate community setting, and offer exclusive content behind a paywall, good. I think that's a good idea. Some people can monetize that way. So other people are going to monetize on Patreon or Coffee, but I think that's a valid way to monetize. And I think it's a pretty good reward for a donation or a tip, or like a certain donation goal, or a tier 2 sub gets in my Discord server. So that's something to consider. That is not what Decoy NDA was asking, though. It sounds like I want 100 subscribers before I set up a Discord server, or ask for tipping. I don't see why you would wait on asking for tipping. Personally, I would just go ahead and enable tipping, but your choice to make. What are your thoughts on setting subscriber goals? I don't think that's a problem. Subscriber goals are, they work to a certain degree, but it's also, I don't know, sometimes feels weird, man. Like, just make a Discord server, or like, just do the thing. Like, just do the, like, sometimes I feel like people use subscriber goals in, I don't even know how to quantify this, to be honest. I don't know how to explain the differences. There's like a feeling associated, so I can't really quantify it. I think that having a goal for making a Discord server, let's hit this, like I used to do, if I get 10 subscribers this week, I will have an extra stream on Sunday. We will do a tarot stream, but we have to hit my subscriber goal for me to do it, for me to do this extra stream on Sunday. That was a symbiotic way to do a tarot, sub goal, because I'm obviously being monetarily supported, and then the community is getting extra content out of it. There is a give and a take, a reward. If it's like, I don't know. I think that you could do anything you want with a sub goal. Cause I could say, like, if you do a sub goal for, if I get 10 subscribers, then I'll go have a spaghetti dinner. I'm like, but I'm also like, that's kind of funny. Like, that's kind of a funny reason to do a sub goal. I don't know. And I'm just going to go eat spaghetti. I'm not going to share it with you. I'm not going to stream it, but I'll get a spaghetti dinner if we hit 10 subs. Like, in some ways I see that kind of as a meme, and people would do it. Like, I don't know. I think that I'd be like, all right, here's 10 gift subs, go get some spaghetti, like, whatever, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. I don't see a problem with sub goals. I know that a lot of small streamers feel weird about doing sub goals. They feel weird about having donation goals, or they don't feel like it. They should ask. They feel obnoxious having it up. They feel like people think they're just panhandling, or all they want is money. I think that a pattern of behavior will show that you only want money. But I think having a donation goal up to help you get a new piece of equipment or help you pay your bill, like show like I'm trying to pay my bills this month, like this is my bill goal. Or like my partner used to do like sandwich fun, and it was like a $5 it was a $5 donation bar or a $10 donation bar on his streams. It was like, I want to get a sandwich, like this is my sandwich goal. Like little things like that. I think a pattern of behavior comes out of like constantly like I've got to pay my bills this month, and then we hit the bill goal and immediately put another donation goal up of like okay, well now can you, I don't know, because I still, and part of me doesn't think that's inappropriate either. Like I think that you should be comfortable creating a space where an exchange can happen in return for the energy and entertainment that you provide. We are doing a service. We are providing a service. It is entertainment. People pay $10 a month or $15 a month for Netflix. People pay $6, $10, $15 to watch a movie. People throw $3 in the person playing the guitar on the corner of the street. People tip the bartender because they made them laugh. Entertainment is a service. So I don't think there's anything wrong with creating a space and creating a system in your free entertainment that you're providing for people to monetarily support you. So if you want to do that as a sub goal or a donation goal or a tip or a wish list, a thrown wish list or whatever it is, please do it. Please do it. Okay. I think I'm going to wrap there because I'm struggling. I'm actually struggling. I'm feeling, my throat is getting sore, and hoarse. I'm tired and I'm struggling to have good answers now. So I feel like I'm just going to, I think we're going to stop the stream. But let's see. This was our first Q&A since December. I think we went really well. How much do you make per stream? How much did we make tonight, chat? I think I made $3 or $2. I don't even know how much it is. I think we made $2 tonight. That's how much I made today. Sometimes I make $50 on a stream. Sometimes I make $200. That's really rare. Most of the time I make like $10 or $20. Wow. Isn't it glamorous? So much fun. I am doing this full time now though, but I'm struggling. So it's a struggle. It's not easy. Sometimes you make more, sometimes you don't make anything. I'll go live sometimes and I have nobody subscribes, nobody donates, nobody does anything, no bits, no nothing. Like there's no monetary exchange. Other times I'll go live and for some reason there's everyone starting a sub gift train and I've got like there's like 50 gift subs that day, which 50 times 5, 250 divided by 2 because Twitch takes 50%. That's $125 I made from the 50 gift sub train. Plus people were throwing bits, plus someone donated $20. Like sometimes that happens. It's not very often. And we shouldn't be expected to happen all the time either. It doesn't happen all the time. So I am going to do a video that kind of digs into the details of money, and how much I make. I kind of want to do like how much I've made on YouTube total since I started making YouTube videos. I think that would be interesting. I want to just kind of like someone used the word one time and I forget what it is. Demystify the numbers, demystify the money, and be like, at the end of the day, we got nothing for nothing. At the end of the day, I still got, I think my bank account, like, and I'm not saying this for any kind of like, what, I'm not trying to get anybody to donate. Don't fucking donate. I'm pretty sure my bank account is negative right now. So, I'm pretty sure. So, and that's because, yeah, negative $9. Good job, Ty. Why? Streamers get paid once a month. Budgeting around a once a month payment is a thing that we have to do. Payment fluctuates. So sometimes you might get $1,000 paycheck or like whatever sounds like a big number to you, a $5,000 paycheck. I've never seen anything like that in my life. And sometimes you might get a $50 paycheck because it is all dependent on your audience and what they're putting in, what they're monetarily supporting you with, how you're monetizing yourself. So it fluctuates. I'm in a downswing clearly, because of a lot of reasons. Burnout, probably depression, right? So this is a downswing. Upswing might come up, right? This happens to everybody. I have so many streamer friends who are constantly struggling. They have really good months and everything's great and they're paying their bills, and then they have a month where everything's down on Twitch, viewership's down, maybe their game that they were playing went out of style. Like, this is a constant struggle for streamers and people who freelance, which is what we're doing. It's freelancing. So yeah, we're doing offbeat stream reviews tomorrow. There's ways to do passive income, and this is where the conversation is like, how are you monetizing yourself? And do I monetize myself well enough? Should I put more stuff behind a paywall? Should I be offering more stuff in my coffee shop or my Etsy or whatever? Should I be having sub-only sections of my Discord server? Should I be, are there ways that I could be getting passive incomes through affiliate links or things like that? So this is where that conversation comes in. How can we monetize ourselves better? And all of this kind of stuff. This is a whole, I'm not a financial advisor. I suck at money, clearly -$9, right? But I do think that helping people, talking about the financial side of streaming, and I think would be an important conversation. And maybe I should try and find someone who is like, in some way, shape, or form, a financial advisor, expert, something that could come on stream and maybe discuss that type of stuff. I'm already triggered thinking about that. So, but I know that financing and income is a big struggle with streamers, and a topic that I think is important to discuss. So, hi, Jackaroo. Okay. All right. That's true. Panthera does do business coaching for streamers looking to monetize better. And I highly recommend her. She works with me. I burnt out for the last 3 months, so I haven't been doing anything. So don't let that be a reflection of her. But I have seen an increase in my revenue. I should say the way that I monetize myself. She helps me look at monetization in a different way. So I do recommend her and her services and her company and her streams and her energy. Panthera is a wonderful person and is just all around 10 out of 10. 100%. Always will. I'm a Panthera simp. All right. I'm going to end the stream here. Maybe if y'all want, I really wish I could raid off of YouTube, but it's okay. Let's see. What is tomorrow? What do I have to do for the rest of the week? Before I send you all away, we're going to be doing, live stream not live stream. We're going to be in the Offbeats Discord server tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. We will be doing stream review sessions. These are group chats where everyone gets in together and hangs out, and we all kind of look at each other's content together. Let's see. Yeah, that's what we're doing tomorrow. So 3 p.m. Everyone's welcome to join. As long as you're cool and nice and polite and respectful. And it looks like maybe I'll be able to stream again on Saturday. It looks like Saturday I'll be able to do a Twitch stream. So thank you all for the wonderful questions. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you, of course, to Lumpy for modding, Panthera for modding, and helping me organize these questions. You're a lifesaver, Panthera. Thank you. Yeah, we have the stream reviews going on tomorrow. And then on the 15th, Eastern Standard Time. Sorry, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So about, what do we say? I don't know. 24 minus 6. 18 hours from now. I don't know why nobody cares how many hours from now. Why am I like this? And on the 15th, we're going to be doing the Celestial Cafe podcast on my Twitch channel next Tuesday, which is a podcast where we talk about the full moon. It's going to be a full moon in Leo, I believe, this month. And we're going to be chatting about the energy of it, how it's going to be affecting you, and some other fun witchy stuff with my co-hosts, Panthera, Doogsley, and Fuchsia, and that's what we got coming up. So thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your wonderful questions. Thank you for 30. I should have said this a lot. Thank y'all for 30,000 subscribers. I don't do enough of that, I guess. Like, wow, we just hit 10K. I do on my Twitter at Hey Shady Lady. But yeah, thank you all for that's I don't know. It's really cool. And thank you for supporting the variety content that I'm putting out instead of just like only doing Twitch tutorials. Thank you all for supporting the lifestyle content, the vlogs, the get ready with me's, all of that. I appreciate y'all. So I will see y'all for the next Q&A that I'll do like this will be next month, 4 weeks from now. So it'll probably be the second Wednesday. I think we're going to have to switch to the second Wednesdays of the month. So the second Wednesday of March, which will be the 9th. Yeah, the 9th of March, Wednesday. That's when we'll shoot for. And it'll be around 6 or 7 p.m. Eastern, sometime in the general evening time. So thank you all. I know, I'm so proud of the 30K. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you have a good night. And I will see you all maybe tomorrow in the Offbeats Discord. And maybe Saturday on my Twitch stream. I'll probably do I want to do Animal Crossing. We might be doing some Pokemon Arceus or Arceus. I don't know how to say it. Okay, I'm going to go. I hope you all have a good night. I'll see y'all soon. Bye.